say that somebody's product is awesome and somebody's product sucks, and I'm contemplating and saying that they use the scientific process. Well, I want to know what the process was that you used, because I saw this process in effect, and I'm like, God, dude, I sliced up how many of these freaking brains in tiny, tiny slices. That's the scientific process. It's not a it's not somebody going to the grocery store and saying, "Hey, here, drink these drinks." And after I get 50 people to say, "Oh, this drink makes me feel better," that's not the scientific process. That's just not how it works. It's that simple.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing, man. We're doing every day.
So, back to the shot, right? I got a friend that's been in this play for a while. He says that
Which shot? Which shot? The first one or the second?
the shit, yeah. They're releasing this drink apparently on Amazon on the 7th of this month. So you will be able to get it and try it out here shortly. Apparently. Now,
but you didn't try it yet.
He hasn't tried it yet.
So you don't know if it works.
Yeah, we don't know.
And I'm not putting it up or down. I'm not saying that it's awesome or bad. But what I'm saying is the whole concept of what we were just, or the whole preface of what we were just talking about was that it was scientific and it was used in the scientific method, and it was not.
Yeah, no. It's
so let's not be crazy.
It's an nutraceutical. I mean, these guys don't really have a lot of guidelines. As long as it don't kill people, right? What was that thing that killed like Anna Nicole Smith, like Metabolife? You guys remember that stuff? No.
No.
Well, let's just say it's probably not a lethal concoction. It's probably worst case scenario, it's like Red Bull.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So Red Bull doesn't really harm you on a daily basis. Maybe.
But
you can find the Amazon link on it already. It's already available and apparently it's sold out. It had an early release.
Oh crap!
And that's awesome. That's great. That's great. I want everyone. I want everyone to make lots of money. And this wasn't what the argument was about.
I don't know if it was successful though. It's only gotten 3 reviews, and I mean that's not a good sign in my opinion.
Well, if it's sold out today, the people probably haven't gotten the product yet. So we'll have to wait another 8 to 10 days. Plus, you have to drink a bunch of alcohol to see if it actually works.
Right. Yeah. They do have it.
So hold on. This is my premise with this. Is do I want your buddy drinking 16 shots at the bar and then counting on drinking this and then driving home?
So that's a great question because
absolutely.
If you look at the Twitter, if you look at the Twitter, they have a Twitter profile.
I don't care about Twitter. What I care about is the efficacy.
Yeah,
the science.
It's an important thing. They actually have a video of a guy named Dr. Rick, some schmuck wearing a lab coat, right? And he's literally got like a little name tag slapped onto his chest that said Dr. Rick. And he asked somebody, okay, can you breathe into this? They breathed into it, and he blew a .40. So that's his blood alcohol content. At that point, I'm like, all right, well, almost half of you is alcohol. I don't know if you should be going to the hospital.
That's not really how that works, but go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, he got a .40. He drinks the miracle shot thing, the safety shot, right? And then they do another breathalyzer, and he made it to .12. Now I don't know if that's okay, but then he starts saying, okay, I can drive everybody home.
Well, this is the question though: is your impairment reduced, or is just your blood alcohol reduced?
Great question.
Yeah, I will tell you something. Watch this. So you could do this. It depends how you breathe it. Now, if you just drink something without taking too much of the chaser, for example, when you breathe it through, as you tested it, your blood alcohol will be much higher. Now, if you now drink something more without alcohol, now suddenly it's gonna drop. It's normal because it's all about how much is it in your throat and stuff like that. So those are like BS tests in a sense. Like, and that guy was probably drunk anyway.
The question is, it's a very specific metabolism in your body that takes place to reduce the alcohol content in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
And if this hold on, this is a very serious concept. If the product actually reduces the alcohol in your bloodstream, well, then that's one thing. If it increases the metabolism of that, and then that decreases the alcohol in your bloodstream, that's also another thing. If it just covers, right? And I'm the worst of the worst to be talking about this because I drink all the time and I enjoy it and it's part of my life. But at the same time, if it just covers or somehow masks the alcohol in your bloodstream, that's not an effective remedy for the actual problem that we have in society, which is mass driving under the influence. Right? That's an issue in society.
It just speeds up your metabolism the way I
don't think that that's possible.
Yeah.
I don't think that there is a drink that you can drink and call me a fool and that's fine. I don't think there's a drink that you can drink that will do that.
No, because you have to go through your.
We had a saying in the Navy, like if you had someone who's drunk when they were in the Navy, you give them some coffee, right? You pep them up. But all you had was a pepped up drunk. That's all you had. And he would go back to work. The Navy didn't care that you were drunk. They just wanted you to get back to work. Right? So, there are lots of things over time that have had claims to do the same thing, and this may be the cure all. That's great. I hope it is, and I hope everyone makes lots of money and they get rich and they buy a new pool and then they invite me over to swim in their pool to spite me. That'll be awesome. But what I don't think is that you can't fool the natural human biology of things. Right? So if I drank a bunch of alcohol, you can't make it disappear. And I would be impressed by anyone that could. And I would listen to that argument.
So, Mark, there's actually in that Amazon link I mentioned, it has a full list of ingredients for a safety shot. I'm not a scientist or chemist by any means, but I don't know.
For you, I am.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, that's the ironic part about it is I am. And I also have friends who are even more smarter in science than I am. And what is the major catabolic reaction with alcohol? If anyone up here can say that to me, what is the major thing that breaks down alcohol, then I'll stop talking.
Yes.
Your liver.
What is it?
Your liver.
Yeah, so that's the organ. That's the organ. But what is the chemical reaction? What is the chemical reaction that takes place?
It's the sugaring process, isn't it?
No.
So enzymes, maybe?
There are lots of enzymes that go into effect, yes. But none of us, obviously, are alcohol scientists. Right? So the first thing that we need to do is think about this stuff. If none of us are alcohol scientists and we don't even know the basics of breaking down alcohol, because there's very similar. All right, so what I'm gonna say is there's very similar uh, chemical alignments and chemical bonds that are alcohols and steroids and things like that that go into your body, right? So your body can be fooled easily, and that's how it gets poisoned, or your body can be fooled easily, and that's how it discards something. It's like, well, this isn't a mineral. This isn't a functional element. This isn't something that I need, and it just discards it and it throws it to your gut, and you piss it and shit it out, right? And I'm not saying this is the theory with this product, but what I'm saying is there are very specific. If you would think about the all the chemical reactions that happen in your body, like keys and locks, right? So there are certain keys that go into certain holes in your body, whether they be in your gut, whether they be in your bloodstream, all kinds of stuff, right? So there's a key that fits in that slot. And these are like they even have certain chemical reactions that require certain elements, and those elements actually have different conformations of them. They're called chirons and things like that, where an element has a certain formation, and then the mirror image of that is like a chiron or something like that, and they don't fit in the same slot for a specific reason because your body doesn't need all that stuff. But anyway, I mean,
So Mark,
this is getting way too chemically involved.
no,
But go ahead,
I
go ahead.
just want to kind of like see if I'm making this. So basically, what you're saying is that, for example, if even with the foods, yeah, some people can eat the food and they can digest it and use it as the energy, where other people will eat it and they just kind of go through their body and they don't not gonna
Well,
use
it's
it
not just
basically.
food. Like food in your gut is broken down into simple
Mm.
substances which your body can absorb.
But not everybody's
Your
absorbing
gut
it.
doesn't look at something and say, "Oh, this is prime rib. I'm going to eat this dude up." You know, this is awesome. What your body looks at is the amino acids and the simplest of the substances as your body breaks them down. Your body doesn't know the difference between
No, not what
prime
I'm
rib
saying it.
and steakums.
No, I'm not
You
saying
know,
that. I'm talking about
yes, no.
just like you mentioned it. The product of the food, basically like the quality of whatever you're taking it. Not everybody needs those, for example, certain things.
Well, the
Question
important thing
is, do you
is
want
there
the
could
do
potentially
you want
be.
to slice the do
Go
you want
ahead,
to
go ahead.
slice up? Do you want to get sliced up? If you know what that means.
Bro, how is that even funny? Like, why? Like,
I,
that's what
I
I
didn't
don't
hear what
get.
he said. What did he say?
I don't know. I think he's basically just trying to forum slide. There'll be
I,
no
I
forum sliding anymore.
I'm not
Please
sure
go
that
on.
I think that maybe he doesn't like me.
Oh,
It could be a jealousy of my education, and that's possible. That's possible that I
I
have
mean,
that education and I don't use it, and I prefer to dick around all day, and he's jealous of that, and that's fine. It is what it is.
I would just like to say it could be that he's also just like a Care Bear, and like Care Bears, they like to be like little annoying.
Every day, I love it when the Care Bears lick my taint. It's awesome. Lols. Go ahead. Anyone else have something constructive to say about the,
oh,
and I like I said, I don't have any ups or downs about shot. I hope everyone gets rich and makes $1 million, and this cures the drink and driving incident, and no one gets drunk anymore or whatever. Personally, I prefer a couple drinks, and I like the effect of it. But you guys go ahead and talk about it.
oh,
Josh, what's up?
I'm sitting here just like laughing hysterically. I have no idea what this quote unquote shot thing is, but I was just listening, and you guys are hilarious. I love coming in here and wandering in to see what you guys are getting yourselves into. But Mark,
FYI, my fucking knowledge is scientific, dude.
well, Mark, just I'm going to explain something that I went through because you were talking about metabolical processes and how this and XYZ and testing and all that stuff. You're way like above my pay grade talking about all that stuff. But I will say this.
I can verify that.
I'm sure you could. But no, so check this out. So I've never really used them before. And I did one time when I was like 17 years old. Was in high school, working a part-time job at a gas station, and I was out partying.
You said them. What was them?
Oh, this would have been back in like what?
No, you said them. What was the product that you were talking
Oh,
about?
I'll get to it. So,
Okay. All right.
so I went out partying with my high school buddies. We were up all night. I went to school, felt like crap, hung over like crazy, and I didn't sleep at all that night. And I went into work, and I worked at a gas station. And so I was like, man, dude, I was like falling asleep at the cash register, and um, I grabbed this packet. So we had, the whole display of the caffeine pills, like the no dose and blah, blah, blah. And I grabbed this pack they were called 357 Magnums. And it looked like they had the big bottle and then they had this little pack. And there was three little caffeine pills in this thing. And I was like, oh, well, there's the big bottle and then there's this little pack. I thought it was a single dose. So I popped all of them, not reading the instructions, nothing. And it was like, 2-3 doses. And I took them all at one time and I popped them. And all of a sudden, like half hour, 45 minutes later, dude, my heart was racing at like 160 beats a minute. I was all fucked up. And I ended up going to the emergency room. I'm like, oh my God. And because I read the package, I'm like, oh, this is more than a single dose. And I went in and they made me drink activated charcoal. This big old, like, what do they call them? The red cups. Like a whole like cup full of this activated charcoal. Worked wonders. It pulled everything out of my system. So it was already digested. It was in my bloodstream. It was activated, and that pulled it right out. So I don't know what this quote unquote shot thing is, but there are things that pull toxins out of your system. So just thought I would add that. It was called activated charcoal. It was the nastiest thing I ever took in my life. But
So activated charcoal isn't like a new thing. You can make activated charcoal in your backyard. But
well, yeah, but
it didn't pull it. So hold on. Let's be specific about what happened. And you're like a somewhat scientific guy, and your wife is a science person. She is a doctorate. She knows the science of stuff. It didn't pull anything out of your bloodstream. What it did was reduce the efficacy of the stuff that was in your stomach.
No, it was already in my system. It was already digested.
Yeah. So no, you didn't digest all that. I don't want to tell you what happened with your life because that's not what I do. But what I'm saying is, it's likely that all it did was reduce the amount of compound that went into your bloodstream. Right. It didn't pull anything out of your bloodstream. That's a very, very difficult process that is not done by an emergency room drink. That's not how that works. And I don't want to call you stupid or say something like that, but that's just not how science works.
No, Mark, he's right. Basically, activated charcoal. What this does, it slow down the absorption rate of what is
the
in your
absorption
stomach.
rate, right? The absorption rate of the stuff that is currently in your stomach.
Well, that may be.
It didn't suck anything out of his bloodstream.
I don't know what it was because it
Yeah,
had been.
we have to be real scientific when it comes to medical stuff.
Well,
It
yeah,
did not suck stuff out of his bloodstream. That's not how things work. I mean, that's a very specific process, and that's not a process that comes from the emergency room giving you a drink. And I don't want people to think that, because
no.
otherwise we'd have people ODing and they just suck the drugs out of the bloodstream, right?
Well, it might
But
slow
that's
down
Yeah,
not what happens.
but
that's
but
called
it,
dialysis.
but
It's called
Yeah,
dialysis.
activated
that's
charcoal.
dialysis. That's a different story.
Well, yeah, dialysis is definitely a different
Yeah,
story,
yeah.
but it is
Let's
used.
not. Hold on. I feel it's
It
very specific. There's specifics that need to be talked about, right? And I don't want to be that dude that's being all scientific and being a dickhead and stuff like that. But then that's not me. Sometimes. But what I'm saying is, that's not the process that happened when you went to the emergency room when you took those pills. The process that happened was they diluted the contents of your stomach to the point where those pills were no longer efficient at what they were trying to do. The what they did at the emergency room, they did not pull the contents of those drugs out of your bloodstream. That's a different story.
Yeah, I just read it. It's a detoxifier, but it is used.
And I'm not trying, like I said,
Activated charcoal
Josh,
cannot
I'm
be
not trying to be a
absorbed.
jerk.
No, I know, but activated charcoal. You're right. Activated charcoal cannot be absorbed by the
Yeah,
system. So what it does is it
absolutely.
blocks the absorption process. So I just looked at it.
Yeah.
Hey Josh,
Yeah.
did you get an IV when you went in by chance? Just asking. I mean, did they
No.
give you an IV then charcoal?
No, I did not have an IV.
Okay.
Um, but
Hey,
whatever
Mark.
it did, it fucked me all up. But it did take down whatever the absorption process was continuing. I don't know. It did bring me back down because I was like ready to have a heart attack on the table.
No, absolutely. What it did was dilute the absorption process, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You probably weren't going to have a heart attack because you're a semi-healthy young man. Your heart was racing, and you were like, "What the fudge?" And lots of things happened. And what they did was they abruptly stopped the absorption process by putting
You're
the charcoal solution in your stomach. The charcoal solution absorbed all that. And look, of all the things in my life that I've claimed to be, and people say lots of stuff about me, and that's awesome, whatever. And it's not awesome, but I'm a scientific person. My entire life has been based on science stuff, and I love to listen and talk and learn about science. And even my sister in law, who's a doctor, she's like, "Dude, you know some stuff now," and I know, and that's not me being braggadocious, but it is what it is. I love science, and I am very, very uh, confident in my scientific knowledge about things like that. And there are lots of things that happen in the body, and the absorption and breakdown of alcohol and things like even sugars and things like that with the weight loss drugs and stuff like that. I'm skeptical of it until I see the long term efficacy or even the short term efficacy of it. And with a alcohol drug, it's the short term efficacy that matters. We don't care if you're still drunk 6 days from now. We care if you're drunk while you're walking down the street. We care if you're drunk while you're driving your car, while you're picking up your kids. That's what we care about, right? So that's the importance of it. And it's a very complex process to break down alcohols and sugars in the body immediately. And I'm not saying that this doesn't do it. I'm not saying it does. What I'm saying is It's a conversation we're talking about, and it's a scientific conversation. And if you don't have the science knowledge, then you're just going on a whim. And I don't care if you're going on a whim or not. If you bought it at 2 and you sell it at 5, fucking kudos to you, baby. I love that. But if you bought it at 5 and you have to sell it at 2, that freaking sucks. And that's what I'm talking about.
So
Yeah.
that was my question, because I missed the beginning of the conversation. Is what the hell is this shot? Is it like a publicly traded company that has something out on the
Yes.
market?
It is. It is.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard
SHOT.
what's that?
SHOT shot.
Oh, that's the one that everybody's been talking about. I
Yep.
didn't know anything about it. Yeah.
What that company is kind of a suspect because they're planning on making money from just one product. But you know that safety shot drink. By the way, I checked the ingredients. It's basically an energy drink, and the most interesting ingredient is N-acetylcysteine. That's a detoxidant. It's I mean it's and they claim to reduce blood alcohol by that much in that little time. No, it's probably a scam, though. I mean, it's that's an
Well,
outrageous claim.
let's not say it's a scam, because there's possibilities to reduce or retract chemical reactions. That's very possible. But let's be honest, is they it's a chemical reaction, and chemical reactions are variable. I've done chemical reactions in a lab where a chemical reaction took 8 minutes to happen, and I've had a chemical reaction, the same chemical reaction, where it took an hour and a half to happen. And it
Yeah.
took agitation, it took certain things for that same chemical reaction to happen. And it's a chemical reaction. And at the same time, um, it's in your body, so it's not all the same. And I'm not shooting it down. Don't get me wrong. I hope it works. I hope it's awesome, and that's great. And all of us can go to the bar and get drunk, and then when we're leaving the bar, we can drink this shot and then drive home or whatever. And then our old ladies aren't mad at us, or our old man ain't mad at us, and nothing happens. And this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and everyone's happy. I hope that happens. But what I'm saying is, it, the chances of that are minimal.
Hey,
So
Mark, just on what you were saying though, Mark, on the driving home and that whole thing, I've been thinking about the liability end of things. Like, wouldn't the company like be putting a massive liability risk on themselves by just having it like have the name safety right there in there? Like, it's kind of like a false sense of security that, hey, I can just have this. What if someone gets in an accident on the way home and injures somebody?
What I guarantee on the bottle is there's no guarantee of the efficacy of the product, right?
Yeah,
So
so
like
you would
you
have
take
something.
amino acids before you go to the gym, they're not guarantee the efficacy of the amino acids. Or you take an energy drink with um, uh, muscle builders. There's no guarantee of the efficacy of those products, because they put it on the label where these are actual ingredients that you may get from eating a steak or eating green beans or whatever the case may be. But what they don't do is they don't guarantee that your body is going to absorb them in a fashionable manner. Right. So you can drink all the amino acids that you want to, and then go to the gym and then pump it and pump it and pump it, and your body says, well, I'm full. I just shit it out, or I piss it out, or whatever the case may be. Right. So there are the the legal ramifications of this are substantial
Yeah, that's what I was kind of.
if people are gleaming on the 100% efficacy of a product, and nothing's 100%. You know, my wife bought a brand new car and her backup camera doesn't work. She's still pissed about it. The car's fucking brand new, dude.
Mark, I do have a question for you, man. Maybe you know, but
Is it
regarding the
science
shot
related?
thing.
Because we're on the science kick now.
Oh yeah, of course it is, man. That's why I came
All right.
back up because my question here is, how would you test, for example, like a control test maybe, or before and after, before maybe with a lot of
Don't
consumption of
preface anything with all
alcohol.
this talk. Just tell me how I would test one thing with the other, because people are amiable, you know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
in their minds they want to tell you a test that would be
Well, for blood alcohol
preferential to you.
content.
Tell me
Yeah.
the test of the two products or the thing that you want to do, but don't tell me how you feel about it.
No. I'm just completely neutral. You're
Yep,
trying to
go ahead,
test whether a
spit it out,
product
and say
is,
what the products are.
well, safety shot. You want to
Yep.
see if safety shot truly is lowering your blood alcohol content. Would you strictly stick to breathalyzer tests, or would you do other forms of studies?
You know what I would do is I would I would drink probably wine with a known alcohol content, where I could do a hydrometer test on it and I could test how much alcohol was in it. Right? I wouldn't even need to get a specific content on it, but I could say this is between 13 and 15%. What I would do is I would put out like 6 or 7 wines, and I would drink one because I like drinking wine anyway. Right? And then I would drink another one, and I would test my blood alcohol through a blood test, because that's the best way to do it. And then I would drink a third one after having 12 wines. That would be 25%. And then I would drink a shot of their alleged alcohol content reducer, and I would wait.
Which is incredibly interesting that you say that, and I agree with that.
And then I would continue on the process, because I like drinking wine, to do 6 wines, and then I would drink another shot, and I would see what happened. Because
It sounds like you just want to drink them, man.
it's not just the there are going to be people who drink 4 beers and then drink a shot to reduce the effects of their 4 beers, right? And then they drink 4 more beers and then drink another shot to reduce the efficacy of their 4 beers. And it's going to be like a Jägermeister in reverse, or a Goldschlager in reverse. And that's what people do, you know. And let's not kid ourselves about the way that people are, you know. I mean, what do you think, that you're going to get all shit faced at the bar, and then you're going to buy an energy drink on the way out and chug the energy drink, and you're like, now I got to wait 10 minutes, and then I'm going to drive home and be fine. The chemical reaction of that, or the the realization of that, just isn't going to come about. I don't care how bad they want to sell it, or this is a concept that's been going on for the last 50 years. And I hope that it works, but that's just not the way that science works. It's not. Because your stomach holds. I mean, imagine how much you ate at Thanksgiving. You ate like 11 pounds of food at Thanksgiving, on your Thanksgiving day. If you have some kind of family and stuff like that, and you went to a couple places, you ate tons of food. Right? So imagine your consumption at the bar in a night, where you drank, like, so let's say you drank like 7 beers and 2 shots or whatever like that. The actual realization of that is, it's going to take about 5 hours for your liver to process all that. Let's say you have the miracle shot, and that's cool, that's awesome. I hope that it works. I hope these are the best scientists in the world, and they're awesome, and they get the prettiest girls, and whatever the case may be. But it's still a 2.5 hour process. They can't fix. You can't assume science.
So yeah, with that being said, and again, this is being neutral on their website for a safety shot. You will find that their science tab has a full description on what they did, and their form of testing was using dozens of samples with breathalyzers. And as far as I can tell, that is their only form of research or studies that I've seen on the website.
You know what? And I don't want to be the bad guy, but you know what that tells me is somehow it's very possible that they have averted the alcohol into the respiratory system, and that's fine, right? But if you don't breathe out alcohol, that doesn't mean that you're no longer drunk. And don't get me wrong, dude. I'm not the biggest. I'm not the best person to talk about this stuff. But what I'm saying is, if I ate like 8 pounds of meat and then they had a breathalyzer test to see if I had meat, and I took a pill to say that I didn't eat meat, it didn't mean that I didn't eat the meat. It just means that I've taken something that masks that signal. It doesn't mean that you didn't eat the meat. It doesn't mean that you're not still drunk. If they have a way to mask the blood alcohol in the respiratory system, that doesn't mean that you're not still drunk. And I'm not saying that it is or isn't. What I'm saying is that these are complex scientific chemical reactions, and what they're doing is they're masking a, a scientific chemical reaction in your body, and that's fine, whatever it is. But that doesn't mean that you're not drunk. That just means that the cops can't prove it. And I'm all game for that, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But it's all fun and games until you've drank 8 shots of Goldschlager, and I love Goldschlager. Don't get me wrong, and I love all kinds of alcohols. I do it all the time, but I don't drive anymore when I've had that because it's dangerous. When I was a kid, it was no big deal. There were no punishments for it. The cops pulled you over and they took you home. You know, and I'm an old man. I'm 50 something years old now. The cops didn't give you a DUI when you were freaking 19 years old. That's just not what they did. Now they give you a DUI, and if you get another one, then you lose your license, and lots of things happen. I mean, there are ramifications to that stuff. So, I mean, there will never be, and I hate to say this and debunk their product, but the breakdown of alcohol has been a long time plan for lots of people, and it's a very difficult process. Your liver does it, and it takes a while, right? So if you're just going to kid the breathalyzer, that's one thing. If that's your plan, that's great, and but that doesn't make it any less dangerous, right? I can change the speedometer on your car when you're going 100 miles an hour to make sure that it only goes to a maximum of 65. But if you see it's going 65 and you're actually going 100, it's still dangerous.
Hey, Mark.
Go ahead. I apologize.
No, you're fine. These guys know how to get you going. Do you have a fish tank in your house?
Say it again.
Do you have a fish tank in your house?
No,
No,
he has
no.
a bathroom, and I've never been able to break him of that one habit. So unfortunately, we all have to deal with that. Sorry, brother.
I was like, man, like I heard this last time we were talking with each other.
No, that was me peeing,
fish
dude.
tank.
Everyone has to go pee. It's a thing.
Yeah. See, mute buttons are also a thing, but you know,
But I want
that's how I am.
I want
You
to
know,
be real.
that's right. You want to keep it real.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Au-
funny. I was talking with
Authentic.
someone. I was talking with someone. It was a female, and I was like, man, Mark when he pees, and she's like, I don't actually it doesn't bother me, and I guess that's like she said it was like a whole feminine trait. I don't know. Like she looked forward to it. So I mean, you know, different strokes for different folks. Like, one
Anybody
thing I did
I've
want
had mixed reviews on that one.
one
anybody
thing
do any trading today?
um, yes, but I do want to get back to that. But this is a test, and unfortunately, it didn't create like one of those comments at the bottom. I don't know if that's because of the version of the phone that I'm using or what. But I do want to I want everyone who's speaking to be here, but I kind of want to restart this space as well. What are everyone's thoughts? MDS, that's really a two-part question because are you just going to leave and not come back if I end the space?
He's not there.
What's going on?
That's an affirmative for
You're
him.
gonna end it?
No, my God, do I even talk?
You said you were gonna end it and come back. What's going on?
Yeah,
You
no.
got
So I'm doing
you
it.
got bot followers.
I'm doing a space, and you know how they usually at the bottom you get the bubble chat? We don't get the bubble chat in this space. I mean, and I can deal
Oh,
with it. Like, F my test if MDS is going to leave, or you're going to leave, Mark, and not come back, you know, or anyone else.
No, I'm with you till the end, dude.
See, and MDS is like,
I don't
screw
mute me
everyone.
on my boys, dude. That's not what I do. Worst case scenario is I'll eat a cookie and I'll go to sleep, and you're like, that dude passed the fuck out. That's how it works with me.
yeah, that's weird that there's no comment section on here. Do you think it's your
So
account?
let's shut her down and fire her back up and have everyone's commitment. And I'm going to take a picture of everyone who's in here right now. And if you don't come back, then I'm going to be upset with you, and I'm going to send the goon squad after you with pipes or something.
Slice them up.
No, we don't want to slice anybody. We just want to bust them up a bit. Slices,
I'll be
dude. I've
back,
been
but I'm
sliced
doing
up, man. I
something.
got to get stitches and stuff. That's a whole lot of expense.
All right, so you
Talking
will be
about
back,
pizza.
though?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'll come
I
back.
just
Yeah.
let Mark ramble. I was doing something. Just send me
MDS,
the link.
dude. Why
No,
weren't
not
you
a
even
problem.
talking? We've been talking all day long on DMs, yet we
Oh,
come up on a space and you don't want to talk now.
I was letting you
He's,
roll. I
I
was
know,
letting
you
you
were.
know. You were deep, man. You were
Was I
going
talking
deep.
a lot?
No,
I
no, no.
was?
You're in your wheelhouse. I was letting you
No, was it
roll.
too much? Was it too much?
No, no, you're good. You're good.
I'm a science guy, and they were talking about science, and I like to be realistic about the expectations of science within a like a 2 day gap where we're talking about maybe what may happen, what may not happen, and that's just ridiculousness because I don't know the science of the product, but at the same time, I know how science works.
100%.
And I've done crazy science in my days, but look, even my wife was like, "Dude, you're like the biggest freaking monkey that I know, and I can't believe that they gave you money from Germany to do this science." And I'm like, I know. You know, it's ridiculous. And she's like, dude, how are you so freaking scientific and you're like a freaking monkey when it comes to other stuff? And I'm like, well, it depends on things, you know? But lots of people don't understand it. I have lots of degrees and I enjoy those degrees, and they're not, my degrees were not gotten or attained to make money. My degrees were attained because I wanted to learn about that stuff. And I have a vast knowledge of lots of things, and I wanted to learn about those things. And I won't even go into the astronomy stuff that I have about stars and space and things like that because it's just wackadoodle stuff. And I've done crazy math on those things too, and I've worked on those. I worked on math problems for days and I've walked away and then come back on the same math problem and thought about it and things like that. And my professor's like, dude, you're spending too much time on that. I'm like, I want to think about it. And it's crazy. I know. That's just the way that I am. It is.
Hey, battle.
We should stop it, Captain, and start it back up so that everyone can do
There we
whatever they
go.
want to do.
I'm in agreement. Let's try it again.
All right, and everybody else on
Josh, come
stage,
back.
hands up, hands up. Let's give our fifths to show we're all in unison.
Yes, battle. I was going to stop you because Captain was trying to do something and you started going into another topic. Let's do this. Exit and we'll come back.
Yes, sir.
All right.
believe that or not, that's your own business. But hold on, I gotta take care of paperwork. Whether you want to believe it or not, that it is what it is. I'm not rich enough where I can. All right, so I have a very uh, easy life compared to most people, but I'm not rich enough where I can go buy a fucking yacht if I want to, and I don't care about anybody else. I have these same things that everyone else has different hurdles in life, and they have to think about those, And we're all, I feel like we're all thieves and beggars. It is what it is in this current system. That's it. Because every time you get something, you want something more, and every time you get something, you want something more. And then when you get old like me, you're like, I don't need that. It doesn't make any difference to me. But when you're young, you're always striving to get other stuff and more stuff. And then we think about, well, I just give away stuff now. I do, honestly. I buy stuff, I pay full price for it, and I give it away. As ridiculous as that may sound. Yep. I don't know. We'll carry on with the science knowledge or whatever else we want to talk about. But I think we need to think about what is our end goal in the game, right? Do you want to make enough money to buy a Lamborghini or whatever? And we were talking about this before. I'm like, I don't want a Lamborghini. I want a fucking Unimog. I want that big giant truck that rolls over everything. That's what I want. And it's just as expensive as a Lamborghini, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. I I don't worry. I don't
Sir, it's a
Go
Mercedes.
ahead. I don't worry about the cost of stuff because my wife is like, dude, if you want that, because I want so little in life, I don't buy stuff. She's like, if you want that, go buy that. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm on the fence on it or whatever.
You know what I want, Mark?
Yes, sir. Tell me what you want, boss.
10% ownership in.
In Marco.
No, well, definitely want that. I would even take 5% of that, but 10% ownership in Robinhood. That's what my end goal is.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, I like the technology. I like some aspects of it, but I just wish that it had a better board. And if I could do that through
You know what I think is
wacky meme stock
I
trading,
think they started that.
that's
I
my
think they
end goal.
started that so they could sell it to Citadel.
It's a Bulgarian company.
Absorb their competitors, which is a great concept, right? So if I can start a company for $150,000, and then have my competitors buy it for $400,000. I'm game. That's awesome. I'll let you absorb my startups forever. They can make a livelihood out of that, and that's what I think. That's what I think Robinhood is.
They're hit $10 a share today.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I'm not worried about the stock price of it or whatever it is. That those are all right. So when it comes to something like that, those are small time. Those are peanuts compared to what let's say it's $1 billion company, big deal, whatever. $1 billion is a lot of money to you and I, and we're like, man, if I had $1 billion, I'd freaking buy an island and I'd be on my way to, Valhalla or whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying is, uh, $1 billion to a large, like Hawaiian Airlines was just bought by Alaskan Airlines for 1.9 billion today. I don't know if you guys knew this stuff or not, or you watched it, but yeah, that's what happened. So are they on their way to Valhalla? No, they just absorbed another thing.
They're going to Hawaii.
I've been to Hawaii. It's nice. That's great. I didn't
Have
fly
you?
Hawaiian Airlines, so I don't know. But
And it's actually a great airline, and I hope they don't dismantle it and turn it into junk.
no, it's now gonna be a subsidiary of Alaskan Airlines. That's what it's gonna be. But uh, the point of the matter was uh, the they acquired that. They didn't acquire that to um, go to Valhalla. They acquired it because it's a conducive offshoot of their business, which is they deal on seasonal business. You don't fly to Alaska in December, but you do fly to Hawaii in December, right? So it's actually a reciprocal income flow of the companies, right? So in the colder months, they'll make a profit off of flying to Hawaii, and in the warmer months, they'll make money off of flying to Alaska, and they can offset the interim by the flow back and forth between the two. It's an equilibrium in a way, which made sense for both of them. It could have easily had Hawaiian Airlines had more money and they weren't hamstrung by COVID and all kinds of other nonsense and all these crazy. I don't want to offend any environmental people, but all these environmental laws that go into place, Hawaiian Airlines could have easily bought Alaskan Airlines. But they decided, hey, this is a good deal for both of us. Everyone keeps their jobs. We continue to do business as we are. We're just a subsidiary of Alaskan Airlines, and now we're Hawaiian Airlines. So I don't even know why I brought it up, but it's there are things to think about. And FYI, that dude went from $4.92 to I want to say $14 today. If anyone saw that,
Wait, what's it? American Airlines?
No, Hawaiian Airlines (HA),
Oh
which I
shit!
had,
Really?
yeah,
Oh
which
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had 400 shares of,
Oh my
went from
goodness.
$4.92 to $14.
Wait a minute. How come I did not hear about this stuff? How long have you been holding this though?
I've been holding for a long time since I went to
Okay.
Hawaii last summer, but
All right, but that's it. But that's the thing, right? I mean, because it is. Sometimes you've got to have that hold. Sometimes the hold never comes though, too.
oh, absolutely, absolutely, dude. I don't even want to get into the other stuff, but you know, and that's what I tell people all the time. You have these things and you hold them and you like them or whatever, and you don't have to. Uh, I don't have to publicize everything, but there's things that you like. I lots of people don't like defense stocks. I like defense stocks. I'll buy Boeing, I'll buy Rolls Royce, I'll buy General Dynamics, I'll buy that stuff because it consistently goes up. And I was listening to a shill space earlier today where they didn't say anything that shilly on anything that I was talking about. But you have to have stuff if you want to let's just say, if you want to YOLO your life savings into something, that's where to YOLO it because folks in our government and other governments like killing other folks. That's just the way that it is. It's not a mystery. And I mean, if you don't like chocolate, don't buy Hershey. If you don't like guns and weapons, don't buy General Dynamics, because that's what they do. That's what they do. It is what it is. But people are going to continue to like chocolate, and people are going to continue. I have gun stocks, and they never let me down. Never. They may go down, they may come up, they may go down. They never let me down.
But like Smith and Wesson or Remington, what are you picking out?
There's a Ruger Stearns. If you look at that one, dude.
Ruger Stern. Smith and Wesson or Remington, what are you picking out?
There's a Ruger Stearns. If you look at that one, dude.
Ruger Stern.
loves the sea.
But it is technically the sea. Okay, so
Me first loves the sea. Oh no,
but I
that's
got one
awesome.
more for you.
Go ahead, boss.
What's a pirate's favorite restaurant?
I don't know. Tell me.
Arby's.
I love Arby's.
No, I know, right on. That's the oldest one. I thought that everybody would know, but that would know. But what's the pirate's favorite letter? That was a new one that I just learned last week, literally.
I've been using that for years. It's awesome. You'd think it'd be R, but me first loves the sea.
I'm a Goonies fan,
Yep. So
so
everyone knows who's part of the crew.
I always use the pirate flag. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I also have silver coins that I've been sending out to a select few of people.
Well, apparently this battle isn't cool enough, so
You
maybe at
should
some
you
point
should
we'll
DM
get
me and see what's going on, and yeah, you should DM me.
right on.
If you think it's a hoax, there's other people who are getting them, and we'll see what happens.
What we talking about right now, man?
Don't you worry about it. What are we talking about? I don't know.
Man,
There's
I'm
probably
What you talking about, Willis?
Here's the thing on NFAs, WAs. There's some tinfoil to that. So those who know hold. I believe I'll put it in the nest.
Hey, how many times you think you're gonna record those space calls and put all of them there, man? Like, I bet people will listen to it, man. Like, this is a part 3.
You know
Dude,
what? As long as it takes, my friend. As long as it
dude, I man,
takes.
it's a
We're
I
we're we're getting we're getting better, dude. I got a
know.
Discord today.
Hey, you know what?
I got a Discord today.
Mark, my question is this: Is
That
this?
blows everybody's mind.
I know. I
It
heard
does
about it.
actually.
Now, did you actually type the words there too?
No, I actually typed some words, and then my daughter, who's now in the Middle East, she
Uh
said,
huh.
"Mark, or Dad, what the fuck is going on?" She's like, "Now you're on my Discord." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, baby, yeah." She's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna have to block you on Discord. I got to figure out how to do it." I'm like, "Kill that motherfucker," because she
Now,
plays
what
those
kind of
kill
Discord is
games, you
that?
know.
Are you taking like a membership cards and stuff?
No, there's no membership cards.
Just
Dude,
joking, man. Like, I was not
It's
invited, man.
No,
That's what
here's
I'm
the
if
saying.
thing.
there's membership cards, you've gone awry.
Here's the
It's
thing.
Marco
no, it's a
Discord.
coin, and you show up and you show the coin like John Wick, and they're like,
It's
"Oh,
it's not like a subscription where you sign up.
no, it is not. It is not.
Oh,
It is not.
so-
It's actually a prescription, different than a subscription, and you can't get the prescription unless you've passed the test.
For
That's
more
how it works.
cowbell.
Yes,
More
that's how it
cowbell.
works.
what's the
And,
qualifications?
what there are none. I own
Okay,
the qualifications, and when you meet them, you've now joined the group,
so
and then
that's a.
it and then you'll get the coin in the mail, and you'll be like, "Oh man, I done
Is this
stepped
is
up now, baby."
Mark, I just
that coin that Cap was showing on Twitter today?
It could be, it
That
could
was
be,
a, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was a silver coin, but I'm thinking
yeah, it could be, it
could be.
could
well,
be.
Man.
Mark, I just DM'd you, battle. I just DM'd you.
Yeah,
But I am going to take my exit here, though. But Captain, while I got you here, what's your plan over the next, what, 2.5-ish weeks? What do you got planned here before I take my exit? Because I know everybody's going to start getting into the holiday mix. And what are your plans for spaces? What do you got going on before I take my leave here?
our plan's to make money.
Just usually Tuesdays, and then when we throw it up right now, yeah. for the near future, especially over the holidays. We might have some surprises. We've got Pugsy's big Christmas Day special coming up, which that'll be pretty fun. Then we have, of course, our Tuesday meetings for the BBig family.com, and then of course not financial advice with attitude on Tuesday evenings as we talk into the night until Mark, and Mark pretty much stays up 24 hours a day every Tuesday for us. It's a beautiful thing.
I sleep.
With your phone on. I sleep with my phone on. I don't turn this on. So my automatic secretary, she's taking care of that stuff, you know. So hey, but I want to point out, because Josh tomorrow has a space call also. Josh, what time is the space call?
5-10 minutes ish after market close.
Ooh.
Like normal market close.
So
like actual capitalism, I'm going to start one 7 minutes after or 4 minutes after market close, and I'm going to absorb your capital market.
Well, what are you going to talk about? Because I might leave my space and go to your space.
Whatever you want to talk about.
wait,
Mark.
what are you talking about, Josh? What is that? Are you?
I'm only kidding. It's just jokes. Go ahead.
What's stock? Because I did after this, we're gonna go to Serfdom because I want to find out about Frankie B's space tonight. So tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so I was in Frankie B's space at market close today, hanging out with Dan Bates at CLNV. That was a great space. Tomorrow we're going to be chatting NVOS. I got my feelers out there. I'm hoping, no promises, definitely no promises. I doubt we'll get them, but I've got some feelers out there to try to get somebody to make an appearance tomorrow, but I doubt it's going to happen. But we'll be talking NVOS. We got news today and nice little rally, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But that's what we'll be talking shop about tomorrow.
Good day for NOVS, actually. Let's go over and take a gander at NVOS.
And W Tech, you did not confirm that you're going to be there with me co-hosting, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I can, because like I'm finishing at 4, so I'll be driving with the kids, and yeah, I'll be there, man. Because I'm not sure if you know that I blog like batch of clowns. So if I will co-host, none of them will appear because there's a bunch of clowns there, and I had been blocking a bunch of people.
So what you're saying is only clowns follow you?
No, I was just saying
That's
that
fucked
I
up,
blocked a
dude.
bunch of clowns that just like kind of like like
I'm only
ridiculous.
kidding. I'm only kidding.
So.
It's just jokes.
W Tech talks more crap than you do, Mark. W Tech's always
That's
out
not
there.
possible. That's not possible.
No, there's been a lot of clowns on NVOS. A lot of them.
No, it's very controversial. It's very controversial.
It
It's
is.
good science. We'll see what happens, you know?
Now, I almost blocked Mark, but I'm not gonna block Mark. I will give him the whole paragraph to say.
Dude, you were thinking about blocking me? Are you out of your
You know
mind?
what? Hey, if you're gonna start clowning
No
about,
silver
Have
coin.
you
No
lost your
silver
mind?
coin, Mark.
no
No
silver coin, man.
silver coin.
Man. I'm waiting for the platinum style. I'm waiting for a platinum one, man. So.
Oh, W Tech, you
That's just
throw
crazy
yourself
talk.
under the
Actually,
bus sometimes.
that's crazy.
Now
Who
is
would
Mark is
block
like
me?
Mark is gonna attend the space call just because of that reason. I
No,
bet,
I
man.
will not. But I pump stuff.
Oh, you will not.
And it happens. And then at the same time, I talk about other people's stuff too.
That's it,
And like
Captain.
Captain said,
Cut the
everything
space call.
everything I say comes to fruition, whether it's
Whoa.
late or whatever. It comes.
Wait until it's important.
It comes.
It comes.
And unless I'm super, and I've had lots of stuff where I bought them and I ate them and ate them and I ate them for a while, and then it comes to fruition, and then people are like, "Oh, you stupid fuck! Why are you pumping this?" I'm like, dude, I'm 66,000 shares into this, dude. It's hilarious. It's funny at the same time, and it's sad. It's rough. It's rough.
Well, Mark,
And
are you
NDS knows he buys all my shares for me, so.
well, Mark, are you coming to my space tomorrow or our space?
I'm actually off all week, but well, Wednesday I'm going to Florida, so I'll be in the air for a little while, and I won't hear anyone's spaces for about 6 hours, and then after that it'll be awesome. Yeah.
But you
Well,
dismiss
that's
the
good because
concept. You're talking
it's
about
tomorrow,
Wednesday. We're talking about Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yeah,
That's how
tomorrow.
you.
tomorrow.
That's how Mark
Yeah,
tried
I'll
to
be there
dismiss the
tomorrow.
topic. He's like talking about Wednesday, but we're talking about Tuesday here.
Yeah, Wednesday I'll be in the air for about 6 hours, and then I'll be
Doing
back on.
shots.
I'll be back on, and then of
Are you
course
doing
there's
shots on the airplane?
what?
Are you doing? You're gonna do shots on the airplane?
Absolutely.
Man.
I don't even have to pay. They just bring them to me.
Hey, while you're handing out coins, you got one of those NA ones?
Which ones?
One of the NA?
The
And
No,
hey,
Narcotics
sir.
Anonymous? I typically don't do a whole lot of drugs, so
Oh,
I don't know what you're
dang.
talking about. But
What about AA coins? You got any of those?
no,
No.
I don't have any of those.
No.
If you want some, I'm sure I have a whole group of them.
You probably find them in one of your hordes, one of your troll hordes.
No, they were probably given to me for free because
those are usually free, but
yeah,
so
they're free.
I thought you had to earn them.
So
what they are free given.
so
That's
wait
what
a
I'm
minute.
saying.
So let's see. So Novos tomorrow. Got a space coming up. That'll be interesting. Is there any so we've got a mysterious guest. Is there any big droppings in Novo today?
Well, today was the news release, and that's what caused the pop today. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of things, cooking in the kettle, and we're just kind of we'll go through them tomorrow. There's still, and that's why I want W Tech there because he's a little bit more up to speed on some of the DD and fundamentals.
I
But
have like zero tolerance. I have like zero explanation.
well, we'll break down the well,
I'm just gonna pump it. I'm just
we'll
gonna
break
pump it
down
like
through.
I always do, and I say I like this stock.
Oh
That's how I
no,
say it. Right? I like
that
this.
is not true,
No,
W Tech.
I'm just joking.
What was the big news today? What popped it today?
He actually gave us a news. That's a big news. They
He just
actually
says
gave us a
news.
news.
What
Fuck.
news?
Dude,
That's fucking
he's
good.
promoting
Big news.
he's promoting his space. Come on, you can't you don't want to give the baby with the bathwater.
We're hijacking it. Come on now. We're pirates.
Well, you want to? I will put it up on the Discord tomorrow. Okay. How about that?
But we had news today that caused the pop. We were expecting news on Friday, but we didn't see it. Um, there, but it's there's so many things, so many sticks in the fire. It's just there. It's even hard for me to like keep it all straight and adding this. It's
So,
like doing
Josh, do you think as an if someone was a newbie to this stock, do you think it's a day trade? Do you think it's a swing trade, or do you think it's a long hold
I think it could be all of the above. Actually,
at the current price?
at the current price, I think we'll see what happens tomorrow. But if you're swing trading it, I mean, you're looking at minus 10% in the morning and a pullback, sometimes plus 5. I mean, if you're swing trading it and you're hitting it, I mean, they like to hit it, in that first hour and a half of market open, which they didn't this morning. I was surprised. So made me like feel like something was brewing. Um, but yeah, I it
No, I
there's
think it's important to talk about these things too, because like I have a few trades, and I buy them at the end of the day, and then I almost know in my heart that in the pre-market they're going to pump, right? So if you buy something for 10 cents at the close of day, and then you sell it at 11 and a half in pre-market where it pumps, um, there's lots of people who say that you're not long, whatever, but if you make 1.5 cents on every share that you own every day, that's a lot of money. If it
That's for sure.
if
That's 15%. But
if
NVOS
it
on
adds up.
average, yeah, every NVOS on average, I would say there's the at least from my understanding, there's about 20% swing overall.
Well, that's what I think it's important to talk about, is
Mhm.
um, the the potential short-term gains, not only the long-term gains, right? So let's talk about stuff, and the short-term gains are irrelevant to you or to somebody else, but at the same time, if uh, the short-term people can actually help your long-term gains, even though they're swinging it, because
Yeah,
they
the
can pump
establishing base.
it in the morning, or they can pump it in the afternoon, or whatever the case may be. I do this all the time, and people rag me about it or whatever for a penny on this stock and a penny and a half on another stock. But I'll tell you what, if if I buy 2,000 shares of something and it pumps a penny, I now have 2,000 more pennies than I did before I bought it, and then I dump it, right? And my trade itself doesn't have a large impact on the scheme of things, and that's just day trading. And even if it takes me a couple days to make a penny and a half per share, if I buy 30,000 shares of something, well, that's 30,000 pennies.
Yep,
And
300,
lots of
man.
people don't think about that. They're like, "Oh yeah, fuck him." That's fine. But if I do that 20 times a week, 4 times a day, that's a lot of fucking money.
There's a Trader Zero actually has a really good write up about claiming like 1 to 2% daily versus trying to grab like 10% or 20% or 100% option call. And the way he lays it out is like, I wish we could find it. I might be able to find it, but
Well,
it's a
what's
really
funny
good
is, like,
concept.
I was talking to Captain last week about this AULT, and I'm not pumping this stock. I know that the AULT is actually in the process of buying or exchanging common shares for preferred shares, right? So they want to get rid of almost want to get rid of all the common shares and turn them into preferred shares. So if you buy AULT today, let's say you bought 100 shares of AULT today at 8 cents or 9 cents or 10 cents a share, you can convert those 100 shares into one preferred share, right? And that one preferred share is worth $25, right? So you can buy 1,000 shares on most um, websites for $80, and then you can turn those into preferred shares with the company. You can turn those in and get preferred shares, which have a dividend, no less. For the average, the fluctuation on that, dude, is $20 to $25 per preferred share. It's a crazy thing, and I'm not turning my shares. I'm not converting my common shares into preferred shares. But what I'm doing is I'm playing the pump on it for people who want to do that. So I'll buy them at 8.5 cents, and then I sell them at 10.20. And then when they run it back down again, the novelty wears off, 8.5 cents, and then I sell those same shares later on for 10 cents for the people who want the preferred shares, because there are people who want those preferred shares because they want control of that company. It's a very uh, it it's a dubious system that's going on right now with that company.
So how do you convert those shares to the
Oh,
preferred?
you have to call your broker and you have to tell them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but I don't need to do that because I'm buying them at 8.5 and I'm selling them at 10. I do have a long position on that where I think that the long position is going to pay off. But why would you not buy something at 8.5 cents when you know you can turn it into something immediately for 25 cents? Or in this case, because lots of people are doing it now, at 20.5.
Or at 11.
Or at 11, yes. Or at
Wherever you want.
10.55, whatever the case may be. Yeah.
Which I think was me today,
Yeah,
actually.
like,
Because once you said you were out, I was like, okay, I'm just going out.
and I wasn't out. Like when I say that I'm
Oh,
out.
I know you. I know. You only sold this portion of your position. Me went for the whole thing.
When I
Not
say
the
that
whole
I'm
thing.
out,
I've got a little bit.
this is a disclaimer to everybody. When I say that I'm out of something, I'm not out. My a portion has gone out because I think it's dubious for suspicious in a way for someone to come on the Twitter and internet and to say, well, I'm going to buy them at 7.5 and I'm going to I'm going to sell them at 11, and that seems like a pump,
Well, if they don't,
or
in fact,
articulated.
if they don't actually, in fact, sell at that point, right? Because I mean, I usually let people know my sells just so no one can say shit against me. Um, at least the trades that I'm public about.
Yeah, and this has backfired
know.
on me too. With the
Yeah.
CDU, I'm in deep on that SIDU. I don't know if anyone knows that. Lots
One
of
day.
people who listen to me, dude, I'm in deep on that, dude. Those people owe me at this point. Just like a lot of us, BBIG owes us. They owe us. And I feel the need to address this with the BBIG. Just because someone sold 200 shares of BBIG at 2 hence pennies or whatever it is, 2/1000ths of a penny, doesn't mean that's the going rate. That just means someone came in today and they'd had enough, and if you notice on the BBIG, someone sold 155 shares at 2/1000ths of a penny. Well, why would they do that?
But that's the thing, Mark. The other part of that is that at least a couple weeks ago, I don't know if that's current, but there were orders on the book all the way up to 22 cents.
Yes.
So that means that someone is selling at a price that others are willing, supply and demand is all off whack on that chart.
Why would
There's
someone
no supply
sell
and
why
demand.
would someone sell 155 shares at 2/1000ths of a penny? That's the conundrum that you have to think about. And if you're in this far on and this is BBIG talk, nonsense talk, or whatever it is what it is at this point. But why would someone sell those? They either just gave up on it. I mean, because they made like $1. They didn't even make $1. They made like 50 cents on their shares. So if I, as a dubious actor, wanted to make things seem worse and worse and worse, that's what I would do. I would sell those shares to my buddy, or then it doesn't make a difference. I would sell those shares to somebody else at 1/1000th of a penny and hope that other people would do the same thing. The funny thing is that nobody did that today. Right? It's a mystery wrapped up in another mystery. It's very odd. So why would you sell something that you paid? Let's say you paid $1 a share or 50 cents a share. So you spent $75 on this at 50 cents a share. Why would you sell it for 30 cents? Because you paid $75. What's the point? That there is the mystery of it. And it's not really a mystery if you think about it. It's not really a mystery. That's a fear tactic. It's absolutely, that's what that is. And I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah, who knows?
No, I know.
Yeah. For me, it's a mystery. That's for sure.
It's not a mystery.
Well, yeah,
That's what I would
because
do. That's what I would do.
Mark,
to make you
because
fearful.
we know that people try to buy the shares and they cannot buy the shares, and they have access to that market.
Someone bought 500-600 shares today.
Well, but from
because for
some
every
retailers,
seller, there's a buyer.
Mark, no, actually no, because I know because
Well, if you sold
retail
if
rule.
you hold on. If you sold your shares at 2 hens pennies today, who bought them?
Okay, I'll ask you this.
Somebody did.
Mark, but hold on a second.
Go ahead.
I remember there was Rudy was telling us that he tried to buy the shares and he could not fulfill his order. He only bought one time. There was like few shares he bought, but there was more shares going through the system through the day. So why his order was not filled? See, that's a mystery for me.
And that's what Mark's alluding to as well, is that
Mm-hmm.
why, if there are orders on the books that go all the way up to 22 cents, did someone elect to give someone else shares at hay pennies?
Every day I have an order to buy.
Oh, you do have order too. Okay.
Every single day I have an order to buy those shares. And they never sell them to me.
And
because I would prefer to buy the entire company for $50,000. I'll buy the whole entire thing.
Right.
But they never sell it to me.
Mark, I have a question though, because I can sell my shares.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty much
absolutely.
Yes. So my question is this: if I will sell one share for $10, can you actually buy that share for $10? That's the question.
No.
That's strange, isn't it?
No, they won't sell it for that much.
But why not? If I'm selling it and you're buying it, why it's like doesn't make sense? Like it isn't that how it's supposed to work?
It is.
It's
But that's
supposed
not
to
how
work.
it works.
It's supposed to work that way, WTech. We've been watching this with NVOS.
Yeah.
70%
I
dark
know.
pool. 70% dark pool every day. As far as we know, shares are locked up. And what are they doing?
Every single day, I have an order to buy BBIG shares, and every single day it goes unfulfilled.
What's your
Strange.
limit? What's your limit order on that?
Well, I'll do a penny some days.
Okay. Do you do like 3, 4 nickel?
Did you
Say it
try
again.
like
I'm saying
one
like, do
dollar
you do?
one?
Listen, WTech, hold up. Do you do like different increments, like 3, 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents, or just always like 2,
It,
1?
it depends. Some days. Some days I'll just put a penny of share in, and I'll see what happens, and it goes unfulfilled. Some days I'll put it over the ask, right, and it still goes unfulfilled. It's a very odd thing, which is actually enticing to me in a way.
They're just
Yeah,
not. They're not
yeah.
performing order flow, pretty much.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of stocks that deal with that, and usually if they are trading well outside the ask or the bid, I mean, it's all going to be in dark pool, and then you can kind of watch the tape, especially for certain stocks, which I know a lot of guys in here do it, but you can watch how things are kind of selling and trading, and know there's the tape shows the manipulation. It's pretty obvious
Well,
for anybody that
here's the thing.
watches it.
Here's the thing. The only reason that I do that is because um, they have a couple buildings that are that they own. Right, BBIG owns a couple buildings. Those buildings are worth more than $50,000. Right now, they have creditors that are probably putting liens on those buildings, but the cost to dollar average on my price per share, I can still make a profit on those buildings, even if I own all the buildings, and then pay off the liens, and then sell the buildings. I still come out ahead. That is where this the manipulation comes into place, right? So why would the stock be trading at 2/1000ths of a penny at $67,000 when, or $80,000 or whatever the case may be, 100,000? Let's double it and say it's $120,000 when I know that if I buy all the shares, then I'll own those buildings and I can sell those buildings for $3.5 million. Because it's not like they're in Kansas. They're in New Jersey and New York, where the property value on those buildings is expensive. It's a five. Those are $5 million buildings total. But you can't buy the shares. It's an interesting like mind experiment to do when you think about it, where you could buy the whole company for, let's say, $100,000, but they won't sell it to you for $100,000 because they know that the value is there.
Yeah, I mean, Lomotif is also like what you
I'm
that
not
mean
even
that you
I'm
can
not even
buy.
talking about the abstract value of.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying there's lots of different volumes within that company.
Yeah, the abstract value of things is different,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about the concrete value of certain things is another scenario,
Well,
right?
Well, Mark, it sounds like they're playing a cross between, razzle dazzle in football and a game of hot potatoes. So you can't hold it for too long. You toss it to your buddy and you toss it back and forth. And guess who, you're waiting for the fractional sell. Oh, here's a couple more. We'll just keep playing hot potato, playing it back and forth. But guess who can't buy? Guess who can't buy? That sounds like you, Mark. You
Well,
can't buy,
the
but that
issue
somebody
is
is.
that no one is selling, which is the beauty of it, right? Because you have all these people, and me and other people, and it doesn't make a difference who the other people are. What if you have, let's say you have 20 shares, right? So you own 20 13 millions of that building. And that's the difficult situation that they're in right now. And they're just what they're doing right now is playing on the they're playing the long game. Whoever is the quarterback of that team, they're playing on the long game, that my 20 shares, or in my case it's, I don't know, 16,000 shares or whatever the case may be, they owe me for that money. And they're like, oh God, this freaking guy, or these freaking people, or this gal, whatever the case may be. We still own the properties, and they're running the clock down. It's an evil situation at the same time, but I'm not. And this is the game, and for lack of a better word, this is the game that uh, Mark Basile plays with these people lots of times.
Did they run into a Chapter 11?
No, there's no filings whatsoever.
Really? So
There's
this thing
no
just getting
bankruptcy
tumbled into the
filings. There's
ground.
it's very odd, right? That
Because yeah, usually when you see a share price that's kind of stuck and pinned like that, it's because they're stuck in a Chapter 11. They have
but
to
there's
allocate
no
older
Chapter
buildings.
11,
That's odd.
because
Nobody even announced. Yeah.
the
Yeah,
actual buildings and stuff that they own is substantial. And the bonus is that they were so dubious about their actions that they're probably all in Ted Farnsworth's name, and that dude's in prison. He's in
Yeah,
jail.
we don't
He
even
can't
know if
do
there's
anything
a
about it.
Mark. So
Go
maybe
ahead.
Serv doesn't know that we don't even know if there's a CEO of if there's a board of directors. We have
I don't even
no.
care at this point.
Yeah, we don't know anything about
I don't even
anything.
care. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
would just assume that Shad is the CEO of Vinco Ventures.
pretty much. I mean, like nobody knows anything, and nobody's telling us anything. We actually, the company did not even say that they were delisting it. It was,
Yeah, I remember that. That was
it's like we don't know
ridiculous.
anything.
Yeah, and there's a couple other companies that kind of fell subject to that this year as well.
Well, here's the thing. It's still trading on the OTC market, right?
Under that special whatever.
Yeah. So go ahead and look at other companies that have been through a similar situation, and go look at the bar of what the price is where the stocks sell.
Oh, and they just keep it there and hold it there.
Well, and then you'll see this giant spike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it drops back down to nothing. So and this is not me telling anyone what to do, but the giant spike. If you look at let's say you look at Movie Pass, go look at Movie Pass, and you'll see that Movie Pass investors at a certain point got $2,000 a share. And everyone went quiet. They're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Go look at the chart, and you'll see it. And that $2,000 a share, is what Mark Basile is talking about, where people had a chance.
Where like they were the rat holes into the company and they got paid out.
Well,
in this
they'll.
process, is that kind of what you're leaning on?
I'm not saying rat hole. I'm not saying anything else. What I'm saying is there's a tiny window where the assets outweigh the liabilities, and that's what we all. They actually, and this is not going to be a popular opinion, and lots of people aren't going to like this, but they actually helped us as far as bankruptcy wise. And we're not going bankrupt because they haven't filed anything, but they actually helped us when they reduced the share float. Right? So let's say they make $77 million on the properties that they owned. Right? But there's only 13 million shares now, or 15 million shares, whatever the case may be. Let's say they make 25 million, 5 million, whatever the case may be. Oh, everyone thinks that money just goes into the ether. It doesn't go into the ether. That money has to be paid out.
Yeah, it gets allocated to
because
shareholders.
the lawyers can't
And
get their
notes
money
and
until they pay
lawyer,
other people out.
yeah, lawyer fees. It's
But
it's weird
uh,
that they haven't filed it like a Chapter 11.
It's very odd. It's very odd.
served also what Mark Basil was talking about from a different space goes. And I'm not implying that this is happening for us because I have no idea what's going on. But I'm telling this is how he kind of sometimes talk about stuff that when he's doing those RICO cases or however you call those, he goes after the people who were uh, the first, basically for the, is it market makers he goes after that they pre-run the prices from the original ones when they were diluting the stock. So basically, he will go after them from the
So what we
beginning.
can't do is talk about speculation. What we can
Yeah.
do is talk about
Oh
He
no,
things
I'm
that
talking about
he
overall
goes
as how he approaches
after
the
that.
RICO cases. I'm
what
talking
we
He
about.
can
goes
do is
after
talk
like
about actual precedent. And
Oh,
the
right.
I'm not talking
precedent
about
is
the BBIG.
yeah.
I'm not talking about at all. I'm just talking about how he mentions the situations, how he approached the RICO cases.
yeah.
And
So
Yeah,
what?
and
Go ahead. Go ahead. Think.
he Atreyu had a space up the other day with Mark, and it was a good space to listen to. I don't know if he recorded it or not, but Atreyu trades. If you're gonna go back and look at it, it seems that he goes after a bit of some of the toxic lending that takes place in the market and kind of bringing that to light and then going, where did this go south? And it went south
So the funny
after
thing
you
about
guys
that
got
is
your
though is
fingers in it.
well the funny thing about that is though. So say a toxic lender um, buys 1 million shares at $13 a share, and they loan you $13 million with the expectation that they'll get 1 million shares, right? So that's how toxic lenders work. They'll say, okay, well, I'm going to give you $13 million. You're going to give me 1.5 million shares or 1 million shares to make everything wound out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that you're going to um, administer shares to your board of directors at $5 a share, right? So as soon as you, under our agreement, as soon as you administer those shares at $5 a share, all my warrants that I purchased at $13 a share, those shares now all go down to, those shares are obligated to go to $5 a share, right? So then I don't have to pay you as much money, or you now owe me money.
Right.
Right. So I've loaned you 13 million and now you owe me 8 million and I still have the same amount of shares.
That they leverage
You
and
know,
they premium
And
harvest
what
on.
Mark Basil's law firm tries to do is say that whole interaction, that whole exchange was illegal because that wasn't the person that bought the shares wasn't a registered broker. So all those shares are null and void. And the money that was given to the company, right, either may or may not be repaid back to you, but those shares are null and void. And what those unregistered brokers depend on is buying shares at X amount of price. And then they almost guarantee that you're forced to sell shares at X minus something else. And that's where their share price now comes to, or
Right.
their exercise price now comes to. So
And
the initial price,
they always drag it down to those warrants as well.
absolutely. And they absolutely drag their warrants down to the lowest possible price. So the company then owes them that money back, but they don't unowe the shares. Right. So I'll tell you, I'll give you $13 million, or I'll give you $13 million for 1 million shares. And then next thing you know, my 1 million shares are worth $1 million. Well, now you owe me $12 million plus the 13 million that I've already given you, and I still get to keep the shares. And that's how toxic funding works. And if I'm a toxic funder, that's an awesome deal for me. I'll do that every day.
Right.
Every single day.
Payday loans for everyone. Yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
But
it
that's what
happens
he's
a
after.
lot.
the issue comes into play when the board of directors and the CEO and everybody knew that all this was going on. And BBIG had a securities lawyer on staff. That person overlooked all this and said, yeah, that's okay, when they knew full well that it wasn't okay. And if they said they did and they didn't know, then they're negligent in their duties.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
their
And
fiduciary,
that's the lawsuit.
their
And
fiduciary
and
responsibilities.
Yeah, I
and
can
some
drink
of
and drive. I can drink and drive, and I can't go to court and say, "Oh, I didn't know drinking and driving wasn't a law." That's nonsense. I didn't know that I couldn't drink and drive. The court says, "I don't care whether you knew it was against the law or not. You're still guilty
Right.
of it." And that's what's going to happen ultimately with a lot of these. With a lot of these non-registered funders is, and
and
they'll
company.
say, and what happens when I go to court and I say that stuff, they're like, okay, well, all right, so you're just stupid, or you're just plain stupid. Well, you owe us $1,800 and you can't drive for 6 months. Okay. Right. That's better than a drinking and driving conviction. And that's what they do. They're like, okay, I'll give you $10 million back and I'll refund all the money. And but in the grand scheme of things, they already shorted down all those shares that they knew they had in the bank, and then probably times 10, and then they bought them back. And that's what we saw this summer when the price went from 20 cents to $5, or whatever the case may be. That was those the people who wanted to get out after the reverse split. They just bought all the shares up that they were short, and then they got out and they washed their hands of it. And they're like, hey, no, this is just a regular trade for us. This was just regular business. We didn't know that all this other stuff was going on, all this shady business. And now Shad and Muntz and the GoFundMe is actually, and Mark Basile in his law firm is actually cleaning up the nonsense that's going on now where other people didn't get out.
Did you just mention the GoFundMe? The GoFundMe where
I
we've
did.
now raised 130 grand for our cause?
I did. Yes, sir. It's what people don't understand is it's not as simple that they went to the grocery store and the grocery store ripped them off. There's lots of things that go into play, and there's lots of pans in the money bag, and it's a and that's what makes it
And what's
better.
funny, Mark, there's many not so noble people over there. I mean, not everybody is so noble, because if more people will have more morals, uh, we'll be in a better off. But there's many non
No,
so noble
here's the
people
deal.
there.
We they're all bad now.
Not noble, not noble.
All of the people are bad now. There's no getting out of it now.
Hey, just like you mentioned at
You
one time,
can't watch the bank robbery go down when your buddy was the bank robber, right? And then say that I didn't know it was going on, but you went to the bar 2 days before with that dude, and then you went to the bar 2 days after he robbed the bank, and then he bought you drinks. You're part of the bank robbery now,
If
and
any of
that's
you tell
just the
on
way
me
that it works.
when I rob a bank, snitches get stitches.
Well, I don't know what
And
you were
what
talking about, but go ahead.
I said, if any of you tell on me and I rob a bank on our behalf,
just stop,
snitches get stitches.
stop. I hope you're not gonna slice nobody there too, man. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm
yeah,
not into
it's,
slicing.
it's
I
not
might burn your
slicing,
house down.
man.
So
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy when people start slicing
Is
things.
the point that you're making makes 100% is that these guys are sitting down having drinks together and then pretending like we didn't do anything wrong.
Well, complicity is an issue when it comes to a RICO case, right? So, um, as a RICO case evolves, complicity gets more and more involved.
Yeah,
So,
what's your responsibility, basically? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, and that's the whole premise of RICO cases against corporations. Now, there's lots of stuff that can go on, and the reason that I don't panic over the BBIG thing and I don't get all excited about it anymore is because um, actually we're entitled to the shareholders are actually entitled to a lot more than just the value of the assets, potential assets. And these are
Right,
all
you
speculative claims, right?
yeah,
So
you have
what I'm saying
rewarded
is,
damages and all kinds of stuff, especially through lawsuit and litigation.
and we're also Ted's gonna die in jail. There's no doubt in my mind of that. He's either gonna die by his own hand, or he's gonna die of old age, or someone's gonna punch him in the face and he's gonna fall in a water cooler or whatever the case may be. But that dude's not getting out of jail. It's that simple. And we're also entitled to every single penny that dude owns if we win the case. We also have um, speculative possession of some of Lisa King's assets, some of Roderick Vanderbilt's assets, some of Andrew or Richard Levitin's assets. Everyone that was on the board of directors, they all Eric Noble, they all have gained nefariously, which is what a RICO asset or RICO lawsuit tends to recoup is nefarious gain because they have now been a part of organized crime knowingly, which is why I think that the Basile law firm has reached out probably to all these people and said, "Hey, and now's the time to come clean so that you can salvage what's left of your life or your financial life, if anything." And I think it's going to be
And
Worst
private
case,
life too.
yeah, worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, it'll be uh, a, a wake up call to lots of people.
Yeah, lots of CEOs will. I hope that as the movement, and I'm not talking about just us over here, but I'm
Well,
hoping because
the
last
thing
few
is,
years it's been
some
out of
some
control. Yeah,
some will think about it, but there's
yeah.
like you never think, as a bank robber, you never think that you're the one that's going to get caught. You're like, dude, my plan's perfect,
No, what I'm
right?
not talking about.
So,
Yeah, yeah. What I'm talking about. Uh, see, it's basically it's same thing with well we can talk about other stuff what's going on with this society right now. For example, people can apparently now just walk on the streets and block the streets for no reason. Well, back some time ago, you could just basically arrest people like that too. So it's like what how far society thinks normal is an abnormality is actually normal. That's kind of the thing we are experiencing right now in the society. And I think until until there will be a bigger cases that will be highlighted in in more broad news, then societies will kind of reevaluate themselves. You know.
uh, uh, I prefer not to speculate on things that I don't know.
Well,
If someone wants to
you could
stand in the
check the
street,
history,
if someone wants to
Mark,
stand in the
but
street,
you could see the history and you could see.
no, no, I agree, But if someone wants to stand in the street and block traffic, and then you get the beat down, I mean, that's just life. That's the way things work. Sometimes life sucks. Sometimes it's awesome. It is what it is. And but this is a different situation where a literal crime has been committed. And people have to sit back and say, hey, so is this the kind of thing that we think is okay? Or do they think that, no, this isn't okay? This is wrong. And this isn't the kind of behavior we want to see. And specifically, we want to see in our markets, right? Because this is where your 401k goes. There's lots of people that lost money on these defunct companies, and they don't even know that they lost money on these defunct companies because it's sitting in their 401k, and they have maybe 11 shares or 111 shares or 1,011 shares, and their 401k went down $51 because of this. Well, that's not okay. That's not how things are supposed to work. You loan, and yeah, not every business is successful and not every business is a superstar, but um, you can't you can't fraudulently do this stuff without any repercussions. And then if you do that, um, for lack of a better word, reparations are made to the people who are harmed, and that's just the way that it works. And
Right.
my biggest thing is I wish we still had tar and feathering. If there's a scammer in your town and they beat that dude down in the middle of town, the next scammer doesn't show up. You know why he doesn't show up? Because he doesn't want to get the beat down, and doesn't want to get tarred and feathered. He's like, I'm not going to freaking normal town, because in normal town, when I scam people, they fuck people up.
They don't slice them, that's for sure. But they do something, man.
I'd much rather be sliced than tarred and feathered. I'll tell you
I
that.
guarantee it, dude. I guarantee it.
Oh my gosh.
But
So let's jump to a different topic, if you're all right.
hold on, let's just do what Serfdom wants to do. Okay, all right, hold on. Let's think about Who wants to do what Serfdom wants to do?
So
Let's
today,
Everyone said no, Serfdom. We don't get to do what you want to do. No, go ahead. Bring up your topic. What do you want to talk about? It'll
this
be real quick.
morning,
It'll be real quick when we figure it out.
I bought SQQQ
No one wants to talk
because
about SQQQ.
markets
Well,
are at all-time highs.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, it's actually a good buy.
I'm actually up on it.
I was
So
actually
we'll
looking
see.
at.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
Serfdom,
run
do
our
you not hear me?
experiment here
Do you not
for
hear me,
some back
Serfdom?
hedging against high markets.
probably he does not hear.
Captain,
Sir,
I can hear you. I can hear. Hold on.
And Serfdom?
Serfdom, can you hear Captain?
Captain, can you hear me?
I can hear him.
I cannot hear Captain.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Exit and come back in, and then we'll bring it up and we'll talk about SQQQ.
Well, before I take my exit, the only reason why I'm still sitting here.
Josh, I thought you were leaving like an hour ago, dude.
Well, I was just going to follow up with you guys. Were
It's
just
because your
talking.
wife wanted to listen to me, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm on. I'm out in the
You
shop.
had to leave it on because she said, "I gotta hear Miggy. I gotta hear Miggy. Oh, that dude's awesome."
No, I actually was going to I was going to poke a joke. Well, you were just talking about Mark, about how the bank robber doesn't come back into town because he's going to get beat up and
Exactly.
yeah. So that's why I'm still here, because you made the point on the very first space that you were going to take a screenshot, and whoever didn't come back into the space, you were going to come knock on their door. So that's why I'm still here. Because you scare
Josh, you
me.
have permission to go have family time. Go ahead, dude. It's okay. I'm only making jokes.
No, I know, I'm just playing Battle. Um, no, it was great conversation. I like hearing all this stuff, but no, I do got to get in. The wife would actually like to watch an episode of Billions tonight. So everything that we're talking about, that show is actually kind of spot on, as far as how nefarious shit can be.
Josh, go order
And the
those
level
shots,
of.
man,
Where do
before
you
they
think they
supply.
where do you think they get those ideas?
All right, man. Enjoy that show. MDS. MDS is up here. I want to talk about Big Lots today. We saw a huge reduction in volume. However, I get the feeling that it's going to go against me and rocket, which I'm all the better for because I love that stock going up. But unfortunately, I own puts right now. But what do you think, MDS?
I have no idea about this big. This is your play. Why are you putting it on me? This is crazy.
You know why? Because every time I go, hey, MDS, I think this is going to rocket, you look at it and go, well, everything's telling me it's going to go down. And you know what happens? It goes down. So that's why I'm asking you.
The funny
Uh,
part is MDS came into my house one morning and bought 600 shares of Big Lots at $3.99.
and it did great.
And I'll tell you what, I'm not dying right now. So,
But the
but
person, but
Are you?
the pirate that did the calls and puts has kind of been on the opposite end of things here.
it's a funny
Bro,
thing how that works.
it was so bad, though, too, because, like, I literally sold at what I could have bought at. Next day, I could have, like, tripled my money at least.
I
Off
literally
of that
said
day.
after I bought it and sold it one time, I said, when it goes back down to 380, I'm going to buy some more. Right. And then I thought to myself, oh, fuck, I forgot all about that because Captain brought it up again. I said, $3.99. I said, that's not too bad. I still have a chance. And now look where we're at. It's
Yeah.
the beauty. It's the beauty of being a knuckle dragger. It is.
Well, I mean, there's a lot in that stock, though, too, right now, right? Because they
There's
just
earnings
got,
coming up.
well, they have their buybacks almost completed. Earnings are coming up. They are 50% shorted. They're a float of only like 29 million. I don't want to tell everyone this because I don't want you going out and buying it because I want my puts to pay off. However, I do think it's actually significant upside. But I also think even if we spike tomorrow, by the time that my puts will be in the money by the time we hit the 15th.
And then
Because I also think
there's always the chance that the baby Jesus steps in and says to us, "Hey, run this dude, run this dude." No, I'm only kidding. I don't mean to make light
no,
of
no.
religion, but I mean, yeah,
I think there's
always,
100% a chance. I mean,
yeah.
especially with your end of the year reshuffling. You've got someone obviously either I don't know because you've only got 29 million shares, so at 50% of the float, and I think it's only about 7 million shares. But even then, when you only have that few outstanding, and you're talking about a
It's a
business
little
that
rough.
makes money though, like you know what I mean? I mean now, do they make money? But no, they have cash flow. I guess is what I should say.
It's holiday time too, and people are gonna people are going to be looking for another alternative to big fancy stores to fulfill their obligation to their family, as bad as that sounds. But yeah, and then there's people like me that just buy fancy toys and do whatever. But there's other people that aren't as uh, lucky as us, and they will do what they have to do. And Big Lots is an excellent alternative to that. And so I don't think that
I bought
Big
presents.
Lots is a bad buy.
No, and I bought presents. Like you know what? Those are good for
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when you're going to your
absolutely.
friend's house, when you're going to like your friend's house or what have you, you know, and you like gonna get their kids presents. Like it's always cool to
I
get
just
those
always
stupid
buy
ass
rum.
toys, you
Kids
know.
like rum too, right?
Well,
You
Pirate,
gotta train
pirate
them early,
children.
Mark.
Everyone likes rum.
And pirate flags.
Yeah, pirate flags and coins, silver.
Absolutely, absolutely. Who doesn't like pirate coins and rum? You got to be some kind of freaking jack off.
I mean, I
Did you
think
buy those puts? Did you buy those puts today?
no, I bought
Captain,
them last week.
yep.
Did
I
you?
bought them
That
last week, and then I've been averaging down over the last couple days, but I haven't bought any
well,
like
yeah, when they're cheap, man.
since last
I don't
week.
know. It took a big old daily hit today on that
Oh,
candle that's been building over the week.
well, and look at the volume; it's totally diminished, even though
Yeah,
pre-market was pretty big, but still,
I think you're gonna do pretty good,
yeah, I'm not worried.
but not if Mark or MBS had anything to do with it.
It's a very confounded market right now. What we're talking about. Whereas like the other day, Serfdom was talking about Newegg, and then the next day Newegg jumped up.
Oh
Right,
yeah, man.
right. So
Stupid,
hold
right?
on. Let me finish my story. And then it kind of leveled out, and then dumped back down.
And
Right,
then it ran back up.
and then it ran back up. And we could see a similar situation with Big Lots. We could.
Yeah.
We could.
That's
I'm
what I'm
not worried
thinking.
about either of them because, and I'm not gonna lie, dude. Serfdom, after you, I don't even know who you are. I don't. It doesn't make any difference to me. It's all a crapshoot. The nonsense of the nonsense that's going on. So I wake up in the morning and I spin my nonsense wheel, and uh, that
And
day
look at my DMs.
no, and I bought some new egg and I bought some other stuff and that day, and I thought, well, that serfdom guy freaking sucked balls because this went down after I bought it. I'm like, I'm not talking to that guy anymore. And then this morning, I'm like, well, maybe he doesn't suck as sweaty balls as I thought.
Yeah, sweaty one.
Yeah,
What?
no, it is what it is. It's a
Is,
crazy, it's a
is
crapshoot
this
because there's no
what?
consequence, or there's no real rhyme or reason to why
When
that would dump
when the
like that
ball
and go up
sucking
like that.
takes place, is one ball shaved and the other one hairy?
I don't even want to discuss it because the morning that this all happened, I was like, what the fuck these motherfuckers. And I excuse my language, but I'm like, God, what the
well,
fuck? You know?
I got some other ones I'll talk about. I don't play in, but I'll send them
I
your
play
way
them all. That's the
for
problem. Don't talk about them unless we're gonna play them.
for the. I just want to give you the hairy ball.
All right, what's the new hairy ball?
I
Bat.
don't
Because
know.
Captain already
Honestly,
got me into like 6 today, and I'm all on them dudes. So
the
now
only
I'm
thing
gonna have
is
to
like
actually deposit more
Also,
money tomorrow if we got new hairy balls.
also, Surf, if you say clean, you gotta leave. That's the only thing. If that's the new stock, you gotta leave.
What's the
no
ticker name? Hold on, I gotta make sure I'm not in that one already.
no. I do like clean, but I'm not gonna say that because you guys have heard enough about that. I'm sure W Tech has been on that one.
No, but
I
what
don't
is the
know.
ticker? What is the ticker? I would have
I've
checked
been
this out.
buying SQQ this morning, man. That's what I bought. The market's on a hysteria.
Okay, well, you came to the right place. You came to the right place because I was eyeing SPXU today.
Shorts. You know,
Are
I didn't expect
I'm way
GME to
ahead of
run to
you, Captain.
17.
That's what I'm saying, and I also know you're an enthusiast as well, MDS.
Way ahead of you, like months ahead of you, half a year ahead of you.
Then we
MDS
got
is the Michael Burry of SPXU.
we got Robin Hood showing some resistance. Been looking at that gap up play. It's probably gonna choke back a little.
I'd rather die in the creek than put any money in Robinhood. That's just me.
We know. Tilray looks pretty happy. Sundial.
That captain likes
Sundial.
that Tilray. He thinks that's a golden. I like
What is it?
Tilray too. They switched from weed to beers, and I like both weed and beer.
They didn't
So I
switch.
can't
They
see
just
how that's going to go bad. No, they
they
diversified
vertically
into
well
beer.
exactly. They vertically integrated, right? Or no,
When they go to
horizontally
rum, dude,
integrated.
when they go to
I
rum,
forget which.
it's gonna be golden.
Mark,
I forget.
do you hold any kegs? KEGS.
Is that like a ticker?
It is.
I just buy it just to buy it because I like the name.
No, don't buy it, dude. I'm just.
I'm gonna get some tomorrow. How much
Oh,
are they?
it's a
You're
penny.
talking.
0.00001, I think.
Oh, I'm gonna get 1,000,000.
But it's it's like they sell 1812 beer or something crazy, something like that.
There's nothing wrong with that. They're trying to
Yeah.
get it up and running. It could be the new
I just
thing.
like it because the
It's the
ticker's
beer that
simple.
doesn't get you drunk. You just get tipsy.
Yeah, just a
You
little.
just get tipsy. And then the cops won't pull you over because you have the 1812 sticker on the back of your car. I gotta remarket this shit. They're fucking running themselves into the ground.
see,
At
see,
.0001, we're gonna have to buy this dude out.
bicentennial attire while you're driving down the road.
Dude, I love beer shirts. That's all I wear. I'm wearing a beer shirt right now.
Oh
Which
man.
one? What's your flavor today?
My flavor today is Hoist Brewery Company.
Hoist.
Oh, dude,
Hoist.
it spiked, dude. It went to point zero zero
No,
zero
they're not
two.
publicly traded, dude.
Yeah,
No, they're
serious.
not publicly traded. But anyway, I love beer shirts. I wear them all the time. That's all that I wear. Every day I'm wearing a beer shirt. I love it. But no, there's crazy stuff. What did you? What was the other one you were talking about today? Night Scope, Kevin.
I
Where's
was
he
talking
at?
about Nice Cow. What?
Not Night Scope.
Oh, Nightscope. Who was looking at Nice?
KSCP.
Did I actually? No, I think that was another person who
I
might
think
be in
I
the
think
room.
you sent that to me, and then I bought it today, and I'm actually like $1 in the green.
I'm pretty sure it was another person.
Why would you send that to me and then deny it?
Because I think the same person got me into Dish
Hold on, let
Network
me
today.
check. Let me check to
Hold on,
make
I'm
Which
pretty
sure.
sure. I'm pretty sure the other person got me into Dish today too. I
Oh, I
took
meant I took some dish.
I know that's who I'm talking
K
about. Yes, yeah.
KSCP. KSCP is what we're talking about. I'm not gonna lie. It was actually it was a good position, and I if it doesn't die tomorrow, then we're all right. But I think I'm up $4 now on that dude because I only bought 200 shares. I only bought 200.
Dude, my DM came with a massive disclaimer. I mean, it was highlighted.
Your DM on what? Nightscope
No dish.
on Dish.
Hey guys, I'm going,
Oh
so
wait.
I will talk to you tomorrow though.
All
All
right,
right,
W
W
Tech, take
Tech.
it easy, boss.
Yeah,
Be safe,
405.
man. Love you.
Mark 405. Don't. If you're not, send you a secretary. She will just or
No, just
something.
shoot me a text message and then I'll remember.
I will do my best, man. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow, and have a good night, all of you. Take care.
All right,
See
be
ya,
Later,
man.
W
safe.
Tech.
See ya.
You guys watch End Phase?
Is that like a show or is that like a?
No, it's a ticker.
You have to
So,
say the ticker numbers or letters.
yeah, ENPH.
E.
So this thing, ENPH, End Phase Energy.
Okay. So why should we look at that? You tell us.
All right. So I've been watching this on a downtrend for a good part of the year. From
What's the
339,
cost? What's the cost right now?
cost right now is at 108.
$108 per share.
Right. Now this is
What was what was the price when you started looking at it?
I started watching it around the 339.92 mark at an all-time high.
$339. Now it's at 108.
Right.
All right, carry on.
Now
You
what
have
I'm
to
looking
preface
at.
the things by cost,
Right.
especially
Stock
when you're
price
talking a
matters.
C note per share. That's
Right.
more than Captain can afford.
But right now on the daily,
Actually true. Actually true.
He already checked out as soon as you said 108.
but
Whereas
yeah,
me,
it's
I'll
not.
go knuckle deep in that dude. It don't make no difference.
Yeah, yeah. How much is
He'll
it?
be
5 cents.
dragging knuckles tomorrow.
I'm looking for a gap up play to on this, just off the
But
daily and
why?
what they're
Why?
kind of recovering. Well, for
Is it
one,
a gut or is it a?
it's kind of a technical. So I ran a Fibonacci on it. It's way below my Fibonacci, and it's pulling back up to the first line of my Fibonacci retracement. So that's kind of my technical outlook on it. But also, the share price has been hammered over the year. It's kind of touched this area of support a few
So
times.
lots of times people say that they ran. We're talking about the VWAP and the WWAP.
Yeah.
Well, what did the Fibonacci describe? What the Fibonacci progress or the process told
Okay,
you?
so looking at Fibonacci retracements are the 1 to 1, the 1 to 2, the 1 to the 3 to 2, the mathematical Fibonacci approach to trading and using retracements. They work all right if there's volume and everything supports it. If the stock's not being supported by shareholders, then it's doing you no good. If there's no momentum, there's no volume, there's no point to run a Fibonacci. So I'm going to
But
throw that out
it ran from 300
there. And ran
down to 100 in how many days?
Oh, about a 6-month window.
So let's say 180 days.
Mm-hmm.
And why?
Well, my speculation, it's an energy
And this is
company.
hold on, dude. This isn't me being like
No.
attacking. This is like me. Why would that happen?
I've got an answer, and my answer is it's a solar tech company. Now, being that things are restricted, especially certain things that you use for solar panels out of Japan, Ukraine, whatever you say. I think that they ran into an issue with the pure speculation that there was going to be a lot more trouble there getting those resources, and took its sell off. But I think it's going to slowly start coming back because things seemingly are forgotten about in those
What's the
areas.
float? What's the float?
It's a big one. Give me a minute here. Outstanding shares 1.36 million. Free float. Market cap is 14 billion. Free float standing is 132 million. But this is large cap, so they move a little differently than anything that we normally play in.
So they have 129 million shares that they can put out.
136 shares outstanding, if I'm understanding you correctly.
No, so the shares outstanding is what?
136 million.
136. And how many are currently out?
Free float is 132.
Oh, so it's pretty close to the free float, or it's outstanding.
Yeah, it's share outstanding.
Okay. I thought you said 1 million shares outstanding and
No.
132 million available. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you're looking at the matchup here, pretty much, is what's out there and what's floating.
Yeah, can we buy it tomorrow and then they dilute on us on next Monday, and then we're like,
Right.
what the fuck?
I
I
haven't pulled
hate
it
that
up
dude.
on.
You know,
I
no
haven't pulled it
one
up
wants
on
to be
dilution
that dude that got
tracker.
hated.
Right, but I'm just looking at it as a gap up potential long term.
You know my problem with these renewable energy companies is like I know lots of people who work in like regular manufacturing companies,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what they say?
That is bunch garbage.
They say this ESG stuff sucks.
Yeah.
I know someone who they're like an accountant, and now they're forced to do this ESG stuff, and they're like, man, this is the fucking worst. And then I thought to myself, I said, maybe I should just start a company that does this stuff and fudges the numbers for everybody.
Yeah.
Because you're not really fudging the numbers.
Right.
You're just saying what might happen.
Right.
And I'm not downplaying the environment, because I want everyone to have a beautiful earth for the next 100 million years or whatever the case may be, and I want everyone to live plastic free and the whole deal. And Cap knows, because they don't have plastic straws anymore. They only have paper straws.
Yeah, they're not very good.
Can we
But
talk about that? Like, okay,
dude,
so
you have
no,
10
wait,
cities in Los
no,
Angeles,
wait.
but you don't
Can
have
we
plastic straws.
can
Dude,
we
don't
talk about
even
that
talk
though?
about it.
Listen, but here's my thing: is like, so I feel like there's like we used to have what it would last forever, and now we have it'll last for like 10 minutes inside of a drink. So isn't there some time period between 10 minutes and forever in which we can like seek common ground that paper
Yeah, like
straws are not the
maybe
way?
Captain,
like an
whenever
like an
you're ready to
hour.
leave California and come to Mark's house, you just let me know, dude. Because I'm gonna have to give my wife a little buffer zone, but I have a whole top floor of my house that doesn't get used, and you can just live up there,
Is it full of straws?
Don't threaten me with a good time, man.
dude. Dude, I'm serious. You can come live here, dude, if it means getting out of California and getting out of the punishment. We'll start the most glorious e-store ever.
It's the paper forks that get me. How do you pick anything up?
Dude, that's ridiculous.
Paper forks. You got
And
paper forks?
I'm not against a good product. But dude, are you serious with the paper forks and the paper straws? Don't get me wrong. Hold on. Let me go on this little rant. Dude, I love Star Wars. I love everything that has to do with Star Wars. I love Star Wars action figures. I've always loved Star Wars, right? And now I go to Disney, and I reluctantly go to Disney to go to um, the Star Wars park in Disney, but I still love it. And it's a very difficult thing with all the boycotts and stuff. And people are like, "You going to Disney, dude? You give it a fucking rest. You can't boycott everything in life, but the freaking nonsense has to stop. I want a regular straw when I go to sip my freaking $90 cocktail at the Uga's Cantina in the Galaxy part. Dude, pull your shit together. I don't even understand the nonsense of it all. It's very irritating. Is that what they're banking on? Is you can't protest everything or boycott everything, and they know people like me who are like old men that like Star Wars. They're still gonna go to the Star Wars park at Disney, dude. That's where I'm going this weekend. I'm going there on Wednesday. And I like to go to Uga's Cantina, and people are like, "Oh, you motherfucker, you go to that Disney." I like it, man. I'm sorry. I like Star Wars. Dude, last time I was there, it was so abandoned that the Mandalorian character, dude, was sitting there having a conversation with me for like 15 minutes.
Was he
It was
having a drink?
absolutely awesome. Hold on, I'm going to put this picture
Was
up
he
in the
having a
nest real
drink
quick.
next to you?
Dude, that dude is like, dude, we bank on people like you. But I have season passes to Disney, and people are like, "Oh, Disney." Look, I understand it's a touchy situation, and the whole thing is very iffy or whatever the case may be. Dude, I love Star Wars. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've probably talked about this many a times where I love aliens. I love space. I love all that stuff, and I like Star Wars. I like action figures, like the whole thing that goes along with it. Dude, it
You
all I like it all.
in your business, in the things of your interest, do you remember like the off take, like I think it was like a Chinese company that was making uh scale models for like all the X-wings and all that stuff back in like the 80s?
So I don't know what you're talking about, but I need to know a company. I need to
Yeah,
know
I'm trying to
yeah.
jog your memory. Like it was an off-brand like Chinese company that just started making, like scalable models, and you got to build your model, and it was all this stuff. And I don't know if they necessarily had the rights to do it,
I
but
don't know it. Send it to me and I'll buy it from you.
and that's the thing is, I was wondering if there's actually any value in this stuff because I got a
No, you
couple
send it to
boxes
me
of
and then
this.
I'll tell you what it's worth and I'll send you a check.
Yeah, I,
That's how
I
this
know.
works.
What I'm gonna do is give you stock
Best
pick.
I can do is 35.
Yeah.
35 bucks.
Captain, you
Yeah,
know me, dude.
business,
Dude,
business.
here's the thing. Last week, I bought a whole entire baseball card shop, right?
And the
the
guy retired.
entire the guy was done with it. He was getting not evicted, but they were having problems paying the rent and stuff like. I bought the whole entire baseball card shop for $88,000, and he was happy. He was happy. He wanted 75. I said, "I'll give you 88." He said, "You demand, dude. I appreciate it." And when I went in there, it was a plethora of treasures and stuff that I loved. All this stuff, and then I have to take normally I work with my brother-in-law, doing like house remodeling and stuff like that. And I had to take today and tomorrow off before I go on vacation, and just to go through some of this stuff. And it cost me $6,000 to get it delivered to my house. But I love it all. I love it all. Pile it in. These dudes were piling it in this morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning. It was great. But I'm up at 4, so it doesn't make a difference. I love, and this is what lots of people don't understand, I love getting up in the morning and starting my day to buy and sell stuff. And it doesn't even matter what it is. I love it. Oh, I sold probably, I don't know, $400 worth of stuff today. And that's not much. I mean, but if you made $400 a day, dude, and you didn't leave your house, that's a pretty good day. You know? And I made doing all this stuff, and I like it, and I'm having a good time, and I'm sorting through freaking toys and cards and all kinds of other stuff and jerseys. If anybody has like a football team or a hockey team or a baseball team and they love that team, shoot me a DM right now if you're on this call. And I will see if anything I got matches that scenario, and I'll send it to you for free. And Captain and other people know this. I will send anybody stuff for free. It doesn't make a difference. I'll give you something for free. I don't care. But the scenario is you have to accept the genuineness of somebody on the internet. You know, I mean, it's an important concept. If you go to the country store, right, and you don't have any money that day at the country store in your town, and the lady says, here, take this soda and take this Sammy and get your ass to work so that you have something for lunch, you trust, and you trust that she meant the best of that, and she trusts that you're going to give it back another day, you know? So that's what I say to you guys today, because I bought all this stuff last week and it was delivered today. Send me a DM, and this isn't me pushing some kind of agenda or whatever. Send me a DM of your sports team and the ones that you like, because there's only about freaking 20 people on this call, if that. You know? And
Technically, like
if,
8.
yeah, if the crap that I get fulfills that, then I'll send that out to you. Dude, this is the ridiculousness of it. I play golf and nonsense and go hang out with all kinds of people, and there are lots of people who just write me off and say that dude's a dickhead, and that's fine. I am a dickhead most of the time. I'm not an easy person to get along with. But you know what somebody sent me yesterday? Do you know who Barry Switzer is?
Yes.
Yeah, obviously. Barry Switzer sent me an autographed football today. Not just an autographed football out of the freaking case or whatever. He sent me an autographed football saying, hey, me personally. And he sent it to me. He's like, dude, I know you're out to do good stuff. You're a decent guy. You know, it was awesome. I got that in the mail on Saturday. I was like, what the fudge? I don't even know that dude remembered my birthday. My birthday's on Christmas Day. And he remembered. He sent it early. It's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing. And when you do stuff like this, you have lots of stuff and lots of junk and whatever. And I send this dude an autographed baseball and this guy an autographed card or a baseball card or whatever. It creates goodwill, and it creates a network of stuff, a network that we can rely on within each other not just to be friends, but we can prosper from this. And that's what people don't understand. I give stuff away all the time. And yeah, I give it away. And only because it's a selfish reason. Someday that will come back to me. Whether I need my computer fixed or whether I need lights put in or whether I need my plumbing done or whatever the case may be, it will come back. And that's what a lot of people are missing these days is the greed of the $7 today. I made this profit today. Whatever. Okay. That's awesome. I made $400 today on my store, but I probably lost another 80. But 6 years from now, I'll get it back. I'll get it back tenfold. But I mean, that's just me. You don't have to. No one has to like this scenario. No one has to agree with it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Captain, if I flew you out here and I told you I needed to build a wall, and I said, "Hey, you should get a vacation, and I need a laborer," wouldn't you come out and work for me?
Probably. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a crazy life we're living. It's a crazy life. Captain can come live at my house any day. I don't care. Any day.
You gotta stop
MDS, I
saying
don't know.
that because
You
I'm
got a
already.
bunch of kids, but
I was gonna say you gotta stop saying that because I'm liable to take you up on it. I'm already
no,
thinking
I
of
would never stop
living
saying that.
on
You can come live
MDS.
at my house any day. If you're stuck in California, you can come live here. Miss Ivy make you pay rent though,
Well, I never doubted that for a second.
but she'll lose on that though. She'll lose on that deal, dude. We'll drink that rent up in a day. It'll be the greatest day of all time.
Bring your Pokemon cards and throw them off.
All of it. Bring all your collectibles. You will see the greatest collection of collectible nonsense ever. That's how great it is at my house. And
What's that?
it all buds on your life teeters when you're younger and you're on the verge of, oh, this sucks and this is okay and this sucks and this is okay. And I when I was young kid, like first Holy Communion age, which is like what, second grade, I bought some Bobby Orr rookie cards. I don't know if anyone's ever heard this story or not, and it's a very important story in my life. But I bought these Bobby Orr rookie cards at a card shop, and I wasn't a Bruins fan, but I knew that Bobby Orr was a good player and that these had value. And I took my first Holy Communion money, which was $200 at the time, and I bought these Bobby Orr rookie cards, and I didn't pay that much for them, but they were very nice. I'm like, man, these are nice cards, and I bought them. And then those cards sat and sat and sat until I was, I don't know, maybe 17 or 18 years old, and then I sent them to PSA, which is a grading company, and they graded them. And they came back, and these were very, very nice cards. So one was a PSA 9, and the other one was a PSA 8. And for anyone that knows anything about grading in cards, well, that took my $200 worth of cards, and that turned it into about $25,000 worth of cards. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. And that was the thing where you, like, in your life. And then I held them, and I held them, and I held them, and I held them. I would join the Navy, got out of the Navy, banged chicks, got drunk, was in the ditch, whatever. And these cards sat there on a shelf at my mom and dad's house. And then I went and picked up all my stuff at my mom and dad's house. I'm like, oh my God. I knew I had them, but I forgot about them. And one of those cards, just one, and this is about 6 years ago. And if I had that card back now, I'd probably buy it. But my life has changed dramatically over the last 6 or 7 years. But one of those cards sold for $19,000. And when I was a kid, I paid like $50 for it. It's a crazy, crazy thing. Crazy. And in my brain, I thought to myself, that's when the switch went off where, Mark, this is what you're good at. And you like doing all this stuff. All the science and all the Navy and all that other crap went out the window. And they're like, I said to myself, dude, this is what you're best at. You're best at buying and selling this stuff and enjoying it as you do it. And it's not lots of people can say that. You know, I held it for a long, long time, and yeah, that's the way that it was. But lots
Are
of things, I don't know.
all your
Oh, yeah.
sales online, or do you have a shop as well?
No, I have just an eBay store.
Is there any thought that it might help to have a storefront,
I
or
have
just kind of rule that off?
I have no desire um to go to a job every day where I have to go to a store.
Okay.
Plus, now he can just go down the steps to be at his office, right?
Absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
I mean, if you had a place that had traffic, I could understand. But even if you have no desire, like, especially on, I mean, now you're a pretty big retailer on the on the site, but you can do a
So,
lot
Captain,
like
are you gonna go to my store on Mexico Road? No,
on Mexico
you
Road.
live in California. Yeah, no,
That's
you're
right.
not.
Yeah.
But you can contact me on eBay and say, dude, I want that card. How much?
Hey, Mark, did you get my DM?
I can't do all this stuff at once, dude. Do you have stuff for sale?
No, I just DM'd you the
Are
card
you
I want.
buying stuff?
If you could check in your stuff you got,
I buy
just DM'd you a
everything.
card I'm looking for.
My wife is like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you bought this stuff." I'm like, "I bought it." Just send it to me and I'll send you a check.
Dude, we gotta do like a segment every week where it's like one item from Mark's store, eBay store.
100%.
Dude, did you see those cleats I sold today?
I
Did I
did.
shoot
I
that?
did.
Yeah, I sold those Nike Air Retro cleats. I paid like $5 for these cleats at a garage sale with a bunch of baseball gloves and bats and stuff like that. I sold these cleats. I probably paid, the way that it averaged out, I paid about $5 for every item. I sold these cleats for $125 today. It took, I don't know, probably 2 months, but everything else that I bought from that dude is now paid for. So everything else now is free. It's just stacking up. It's ridiculous. I bought a $150 baseball glove from him too for like $5. Crazy, crazy. I love this stuff. And that's the beauty of uh in my opinion, of like sports stuff and garage sale things that have to do with sports. I love all sports, dude. I'll sit here and on a Sunday in September, and I'll watch women's field hockey for a whole fucking day. You know why? Because I love um, sports. And there's no fault in watching freaking 25-year-old girls run up and down a field. I mean, that's just enjoyment. It's creepy in a way, but I'm like, oh, okay, but it's a good sport. It's like hockey when you don't have a hockey season. It's awesome. and I'll watch all this stuff, and then that's how I learn. I learn about stuff. I mean, it's a ridiculous thing. I know it. It's an obsession in my way, but no, I love it. But I bought a pair of baseball football cleats for $5, and I sold them for $125 today. And eBay paid to have them shipped to an authenticator. So you tell me how I'm going wrong.
No,
Ridiculous.
I don't think anyone's saying you're going wrong. And you know what? That's what it is. What sold on Mark's store today? That'll be the segment.
We should. I mean, the beauty of it is I made like $250 today, let's say, and I didn't leave the house. So you depends on what kind of house you live in. That's not going to pay my mortgage, but at the same time, if you live in a different house, it could. It's an awesome thing. The beauty of it is that you didn't have to leave your house and you enjoyed doing it. If you don't enjoy doing it, then you shouldn't do stuff
Now
unless
is
it's like an actual job. But
now is the clothing market on eBay still oversaturated or no?
super saturated, super
Yeah.
saturated. Yeah. I don't know what to do with that stuff. The only
What
thing that's
about
good,
what
the
about
only
Levi's?
eh,
Levi's still selling?
okay. So, is it worth the effort?
Not on your end, probably.
No, I'm
That's
asking for you. Is it worth the effort? No, I mean,
I
for
got drawers
10,
of them full
$10 a
with
pair,
holes and everything.
$12 a pair. I mean, if you this is the thing. So if you get up every morning and that's your job, and you're relying on $80-$90 a day profit, then yeah, it's worth the effort. But if you I if you wake up every day and if stuff sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then maybe it's not worth the effort. You just sell them at a garage sale for $15 a pair, and if someone buys them, they buy them. If they don't, they don't. You know,
well,
I have tons and tons and tons of clothes, so many clothes and so many like I'm like the Melda Marcos of men's running shoes, but I only buy like one brand. And my wife laughs at me at this all the time because I only buy Altra, Altra, which is a very off-brand. And not to say that it's inexpensive; it's an expensive shoe, but it's made for people who have wide feet. I have really, really, really wide feet, like Barney Rubble, Fred Flintstone type feet. And I had so many foot problems and knee problems for the longest time. And then one day I bought these shoes and I was like, oh my God, these are freaking nice. And then like a month later, all my ankle pain, all my knee pain, my hip pain, it all went away. Foot pain, nothing. I had worn Mizunos for the longest time. And lots of people don't know about Mizuno, but they make really good running shoes. And I was running races and I was doing stuff, but my hips and my knees hurt. And then I switched to these Altra shoes. I'm like, oh my God. After a month, all my foot pain was gone. No more plantar fasciitis, no more nothing. I thought these are the greatest things ever. So every time they come out with a new shoe, I bought them. I bought them. I bought them. Now they've been bought out by another company, and they've now narrowed their shoes down. And I'm lucky that I bought all these old wide shoes from like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. But it's ridiculous. Uh, and now when you look in my closet, I have like probably 85 pairs of, maybe 100 pairs of shoes still brand new in the box. But they'll outlive me. Right, I won't have to. If I wear a pair every 6 months, that's another 50 years worth of shoes. Yeah, I won't have any more foot pain. And it was as simple as that. I needed a shoe that was a zero drop where my heels weren't higher than my toes, and I needed a wider shoe. It was that simple.
What was
That
the ticker
simple.
symbol?
Go ahead.
What was the ticker symbol?
Yeah, I wish they're owned by I don't know, but
Big and tall.
yeah, it's not a stock market thing. It was a life thing. You know, I mean, but that made my life so much better, dude. I can't even, dude. You know how bad it is when your feet hurt.
Oh, it's brutal.
Imagine having a toothache and a foot ache at the same
I
time.
I kind
I
of
mean,
have
that's like
like
the worst of all
the
time.
same affliction, and like for me it comes to like buying men's like work boots, and I have
Altra,
like
dude. Altra.
yeah, it's like the worst problem
ALTRA.
ever. And like the
Dude, shoot me your address and I'll send you. What size shoe do you wear?
I'd like 9.5, 10,
Yeah,
depending on the shoe.
shoot me your address. I'll see if I can get my boys to
I'm
send you one out. I swear to
for
God, dude.
for
These
where I'm in the industry that I'm in, I have to have like a 1 inch defined heel, and that's what kills me. And it's just
a
ridiculous.
1 inch heel?
Yeah, 1 inch defined heel.
No, you'll be all right with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
they have a good a base on them,
yeah,
but the heel, like if you buy like a pair of Nike running shoes, and lots of running shoes are like this, where they'll tell you what the drop is. Right, so
I gotcha.
the drop is the distance between your heel and your toe. So they'll say like 30 millimeters or whatever. You get a pair of Nike Air Maxes. I like Nikes too, just as much as anybody, but I can't wear them anymore because it makes my knees hurt. But the drop is the distance between the heel and the toe when you're wearing it. I need a 0 drop, which is my heel is the same as my toe. So I can't wear Nikes, I can't wear New Balances, I can't wear any of that stuff anymore. I have to get these special 0 drop shoes, and it's not like an old man thing. It's just a ergonomic thing with my body, where my body's not made the or my body hasn't evolved and been the same as everybody else's. So that's what I do, and I have really really wide feet, and this is the company that has done it. It's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. You should check it out. I mean, I'm not telling you to buy anything or sell anything.
No, I'm
And
definitely gonna
if you
consider
wear
it.
like a 9.5, I can't help it that you're like a girly man. But I mean, it is what it is. You just shoot me your text. You shoot me your address, and I'll see if my boys can get you something. They'll probably get
You
you
know,
something.
can we change subjects again?
Well, you want to talk about your small feet again?
No,
We
actually,
could
I
talk
was gonna.
about it if you want to. I don't know why your feet are so small, dude. Are you
They're
a
super
short guy?
wide.
Are you short?
No, I'm 6 foot. I just got weird feet, man.
That's crazy talk, isn't it?
Yeah, that's crazy. Just
Yeah,
got
because
weird feet.
I'm 5'10.5" and I wear an 11.5, and they're like 7 inches wide. They're
I
they're like flippers,
you you got to get your genome sequence there and
dude.
see what's going on.
They made fun of me in the Navy so bad. They're like, "What the fuck, dude?" They're like, "Dude, you're like wearing like cinder blocks on your feet. How can you
Make
even
you get
run?" I said, "Dude, I'll run you into the dirt. I'll run you into the dirt.
stomp you into
I
the
won't beat you in
dirt.
a 100-meter race, but I'll run you into the dirt." And they're like,
I'll hit
"No
you with
chance."